6 a.m. Good morning live from the Circus Sports at the Main-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. NBA playoffs Tuesday night. The Spurs took Game 5 in the 3-2 series lead over the Timberwolves with a 126-97 win. Victor Wembanyama made up for his first career ejection that happened in Game 4, and he put up 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks to lead the Spurs. Wembanyama became the third youngest player in NBA history in the playoffs to post a stat line of 25-plus points, 15-plus rebounds, and 5-plus assists, joining Luka Doncic and Magic Johnson. NHL playoffs, the Sabres beat the Canadiens in Game 4 3-2 and tie their series up at 2 games apiece, and a late-night thriller as the Golden Knights beat the Ducks 3-2 4 minutes into overtime to take Game 5 and the 3-2 series lead. Coming up tonight, the Eastern Conference leader in the MLS, Nashville Soccer Club, back on the pitch in Foxborough as they take on New England Revolution with kickoff set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time. You can, of course, tune into 104.5 The Zone with pregame starting at 6. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Bring it easy once on your home for the Titans involves. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go into your Wednesday morning on 104.5 The Zone, 6 a.m. in Nashville. Good morning and welcome in to Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045 is our number. We stream the show live for you on 104.5 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. Who has improved the most in the AFC South, and how much have the Titans put themselves in position to compete? We'll talk about that coming up in hour 2 this morning. What about the biggest non-quarterback question regarding the Vols in 2026? That's coming up in hour number 3. Rhett Bryan stops by to talk with us in studio. We'll talk a little Titans and preview the NFC East part of the schedule for the Titans this upcoming season. And the crew's all here to do exactly that. He's Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins behind the glass. I'm Will Bowling. On Wednesday, May the 13th. What's up? How we doing?
Man, we're good. Good morning, Will. Good morning, Justin.
Morning.
How are you?
Justin, wow.
Yeah,
I don't know the last time you said my actual government name.
I called him Will, and I was just like, well, Justin's back there. Well, good morning either way, Jay Hawkins.
Good morning, Ramon.
Thank you, man. All is well. I know, it's a real formal intros right there.
Okay.
Weird weather time of the year, too, because it's supposed to be warmer today. And I've been dressing opposite all week long in the mornings, though, Will. But I got on long sleeve today, had on short sleeve yesterday, and it's just a weird place for me to be right now as far as dressing and stuff. But
T's and P's.
I know, but
thoughts and prayers.
Thoughts and prayers. I was about to say, what's T's and P's? Is it
T's and P's?
A new vegetable?
Nope.
Absolutely not. But hey, let's roll this morning. By the way, I'm stopping wearing my Apple Watch for a while too.
Really? Why is that?
Psychologically, I think it has like just a stronghold on everything that you do.
Okay.
Like you're watching it like it's a stand-up. And then like when I'm working out or walking or doing something and I got to turn my watch on, I was just like, this is probably a step too much. I've read some stuff about it as well as like letting go of the technology on your wrist type of thing. I'll go back to it, I think. But I'm trying to make more of life instead of being pushed by the watch, if that makes sense to you.
Interesting.
Yeah. I don't know. I was, like I said, I read some stuff and I was just like, let me try it out to see how I feel without my watch.
So you don't want like the activity during the day?
No, I do want the activity I want the activity from a human component, not from from a technology component.
Okay.
It's just like,
interesting.
And then emotionally, like if you do miss something, it'll make you feel like, oh man, I missed the stand time, or I did this, or the biggest part for me has just been the workout side of it. It's just been like, okay, did it count? Or when I'm done working out, I'll look what I did, and it's substantial. But at the same point in time, it's like, dang, I probably should have did more. And just, I don't know, just a bunch of back and forth on the watch, on the wrist. I don't even wear it when I sleep, which is probably the biggest component of it, I think, for a lot of people with the.
I used to do that, and I don't anymore because I got instinctively lazy on just snoozing my watch when I would hear my alarm in the morning. And then it got way too easy for me to oversleep, which I've only ever been 30 seconds late for one show ever since we started doing this. I'm going to knock on wood right now. But still, I feel like I was taking way too long to wake up when I was doing it that way. I do like it during the day, though, but I'm also in pre-wedding cut mode right now and trying to look my best and be as like active and healthy as I can before the wedding in a month from today, which is kind of crazy. So I understandably can't relate as much.
Yeah, just trying to let go of the technology component of everything I do. I'll see how I feel. I stopped wearing it. I wore it partially yesterday, and I was like, okay, cool. And I'm going to try all day today, see if there's a difference. And I'm going to go work out and see how I feel post the workout because I didn't track it or I didn't get the alert. Hey, you closed all rings by 3 o'clock, whatever the case may be. So I'll keep you guys informed on my little study.
Okay.
Do you ever get that phantom watch feeling? You know, like you get all those text messages and notifications on your watch and it'll buzz on your wrist and then you take your watch off and then you still feel like you get the buzz on your wrist?
Well, isn't that usually because it thinks you're trying to press up against a phone and download something?
No, but like let's say you have your watch off of your wrist. You still feel it.
You still feel it.
For me, like I like the reset of taking the watch off because then I don't feel that need is like, oh, I got a message. Oh, wait, I don't even have my watch on.
Yeah. And that's the other part, too.
Sometimes you just need your reset from your brain.
My activity in like group chats have like dropped down a good bit. Trying to stop, I'm trying to remove myself from like always being engaged, if that makes sense, though. Just trying to be more mentally aware with like technology and like all the little stuff around me. And I say that, and my internet line in my house got cut yesterday. It was no issue. But
how did that happen?
Doing a renovation in the backyard.
Ah, okay. I didn't know you'd already started on that.
Yeah, we started, and boy, my grass is terrible right now. But it's a beautiful
part of it.
Yeah, it is part of it. I'm gonna do a time lapse of it. I've been getting my oldest to take a picture of the backyard like every 2 days.
Nice.
I think it's supposed to be like a 6-week project or whatever.
So how long have you been without internet?
Late yesterday afternoon. It was probably around 2 o'clock yesterday. From 2 o'clock to now.
How long is it gonna take to get it back?
They'll be back over. They'll be over to the house at 3 o'clock. Xfinity will be. But it's the most weirdest placement of internet cord in the backyard I've ever seen in my life. It's underground or like right through the middle of like, I don't know. It's just the weirdest placement. I figured with that type of stuff, I know it's underground, but I figured they go around the yard.
Sure.
To hit the little the little box in the back of it, I guess, where it sets everything up. But yeah.
Interesting.
But I wasn't pressed about it. I will say this. I did get an opportunity to watch the basketball game last night still, though. But most of my house is wired with internet, streaming, the cameras, the lights, everything else, but it was still functional. I wasn't even tripping. Actually, a little time without TV yesterday was good, was real good.
It's fair.
Yeah.
It's fair. I feel like with as many people as have phone hotspots now, too, it's not as much at the end of the world as it used to be. When you like need to watch something or need to work on something.
Yeah, no doubt about it. But it was kind of cool yesterday without having all of that stuff. I see a couple other folks like, they stopped wearing the watches when they get home and stuff. The test is going to be my workout. How do I feel after that?
That's fair. So for me, I feel, to your point, I feel less attached to my phone if I'm wearing my watch. Because if I'm waiting on a message from someone, if I'm waiting on an email, if I'm checking my phone periodically for things because I don't feel like the little tap on my watch, then I'm more likely to just doom scroll on my phone. So I legitimately feel like the watch keeps me less engaged.
I can understand that.
Yeah. It's like when I put myself on Do Not Disturb, I end up actually checking my phone more because I'm swiping up to see if anyone has contacted me while I'm on Do Not Disturb. I mean, that's probably me being weird. I admit that, but that is just the way that my brain works.
Nah, I get that too, for sure. We're locked in. I'm trying to deprogram myself for little things like that, but we'll see if it works or if I just say, you know what, I like knowing that I had a good workout. How many calories you burn in a workout? Do you happen to know on average?
No. 300-ish, 400-ish. I don't know. It used to be up near 1,000.
Yeah.
But I was also a SEC athlete at that point. What is a normal number supposed to be?
No, I think that's about right. Like I'm probably like, I'm bigger than you. My average workouts be like 600 to 700 calories.
I also think these things are bullcrap when it comes to counting calories. I've heard that it's not like close to accurate.
See, and that's my point right there.
I just want the feeling of accomplishment. I want to check off boxes. I've started doing the reminders on my computer every night before I go to bed.
Yeah.
Of like doing basic tasks the next day, of like things I got to get done. And again, I'm 1 month out from my wedding, so there are a lot of still tasks that need to get done before that, like getting fitted for my tux, which I think I need to do. They tell you to do 4 to 6 weeks out.
Oh, okay.
Because again, if you're like losing weight or if you're, God forbid, gaining weight, then they want you to be closest as possible to what you're actually going to look like when you do use the tux.
Yeah.
So again, stuff like that I got to get done. And also ripped a hole in my suit pants that I'm going to a wedding next weekend. So got to get that fixed. Was breaking it down too much on the dance floor last wedding season. So we've got to address that. I tell you, I did one of those Tennessee soccer games this past year, and I don't change into my suit until I finish that drive, because like, why would I drive 3 hours in a suit if I don't have to? So then I just change once I get to the stadium and like go up, and I'm like, oh crap, like these pants are not going to work. And all I had was shorts. And so I wore them. We went down to like talk to the coaches and everything. And I'm like, I literally have like a file folder of notes. And I'm just out there just waddling with a file folder just right behind my back. Just like, oh, hey, what's up, coach? How are you?
Yeah.
Oh, I got to shake your hand. All right, hold on 1 second. Oh,
That's
there you
insane,
go.
man.
Yeah. So I got to get that fixed.
You are under a month, though, man. I remember when what was it, 50 days or something, I think you said recently?
Oh, I've had a lot of milestones, yeah.
Good.
I mean, it's been a year.
Excitement there? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's been there. I'm at this point just ready to throw a party and have it.
And have a
Excited.
grand old time.
And then go to honeymoon.
We had ours at T-Pack. It was cool downtown, too.
That's right.
It was hot as heck, though. A
Yeah.
July wedding.
Thank you for the reminder on that, because we are in the middle of June. But no, it'll be good.
Well, it was
It'll be fun.
hot. We were supposed to be, I think, like June 12th, if I'm not mistaken.
And ours is June 13th.
Is it? And we ended up, Miles ended up coming, and we had to push the date back a little bit. Then I couldn't do a fall one because football season was right around the corner as well.
Also fair.
So it was July, from April to July was our window, and we did not fit it in a decent time. And July, you hear me, 14th, is a hot day.
Yes, it is.
It is a very hot
June
day.
we'll randomly get some cooler days or evenings, so hopefully we'll be good. But anyway, start doing your rain dances now for me.
I know they say rain
avoid
on
that.
weddings are supposed to be fun.
I know.
mean, good luck though.
I know.
It rained on my wedding day.
I don't want to find out. 615-737-1045 is our number. We are live from the 1045 The Zone Circus Sports Studio. Kentucky's largest sports book can now be found at Circus Sports at Kentucky Downs. When we return, we'll give you some Wednesday morning headlines. There is some beef in the SEC West. And this one has nothing to do with Lane Kiffin, actually. Steve Sarkisian with some interesting comments we'll talk about next.
When you start noticing cracks in the walls, uneven floors, or driveways sinking and separating, it's more than a home issue. It's a peace of mind issue. And that's why who you choose for foundation repair and concrete leveling, it really matters, good people. I trust United Structure Systems because they've been doing it the right way since 1994, right here in Tennessee as well. USS, they don't believe in quick fixes or scare tactics. They take the time to inspect, explain what's happening, and walk you through real proven solutions that are built to last. Whether your home needs foundation stabilization, crawl space repair, or concrete leveling for sinking sidewalks, patios, or driveways, USS uses engineered systems designed for long-term performance, not just temporary patches at all. From the initial inspection to the final repair, USS, they listen, they educate and deliver results that you can trust so you can feel confident in your home today and protect it for the future as well. USS is also introducing 24 months, no interest financing options, good now through the end of June. So get them over to your house. You can learn more, schedule your inspection at USSTN.com.
Ramon Will off and running in hour one on 104.5 The Zone. 615-737-1045 is our number. I love when the spirit of Steve Spurrier lives on in SEC coaches. Obviously, Steve Spurrier's not dead. Well, we're not trying to kill him. However, it is a lot more boring with the quotes, with the just overall camaraderie, the fact that these guys have a group text. Do you think Steve Spurrier, actually, you know what?
Yes.
Steve Spurrier would have been in a group text, but he would have been just talking crap the entire time.
I heard they do.
To his peers.
From a birdie of mine, all of these coaches do have a group chat.
Yes. Oh, no, they do. They've talked about it on the record.
Yes, I thought so. Yeah, most definitely.
That being said, that text may be a little interesting this week between Lane Kiffin's comments about it's hard to recruit to Mississippi for history and racial reasons and all these things. Well, now Steve Sarkisian has gone after Ole Miss. And one day after Lane Kiffin's controversial comments, Texas coach Steve Sarkisian told USA Today, all you have to do is take basket weaving and you can get an Ole Miss degree. First year Florida coach John Summerall, a former assistant at Ole Miss, even added to it and quote tweeted it and said, grateful to coach at a top 10 public university that also offers advanced basket weaving. So, talking to USA Today, Steve Sarkisian, the full quote, says, at Texas, we will only take 50% of a player's academic credit hours. You may be a semester from graduating, but you're going all the way back to 50% if you play here and want a degree. But at Ole Miss, they can take you. All you have to do is take basket weaving, and you can get an Ole Miss degree.
That's wow. That's wild. You want to hear what's fascinating about that? I get to UT my freshman year, and we have a high-rated guy in our class, whatever. He goes up to the academic advisor while we was meeting as freshmen, and he told him, it's like, listen, man, I'm here to play ball. Y'all can just put me in basket weaving. I don't care about nothing else. Like, one, I didn't realize this was a running joke. Two, I didn't think coaches understood that line as well. And legitimately, why is Ole Miss taking shots like this week? Basket weaving is a hilarious take right there. With that being said, these coaches only have themselves to blame for this structure, though. Like, this is the weird part about these coaches pushing back and taking public jabs at one another, especially when it comes down to the institutions, one versus the other. First and foremost, you coaches only allow players to take basket weaving. Can we start there first? Nobody.
That is true.
Nobody that's playing collegiate football. I can tell you probably the 5 to 7 degrees. You want to take turns naming them? The athletes take, specifically the football team.
Is this a Ramon Will draft?
Yes, let's do this.
Go ahead.
What are the drafts? I'll start first. My very own sociology.
That's what I was going to start with.
Sociology.
Number 2, I'll go communication studies.
Yes. I got 3 for you. Oh, this is for the thinkers right here. Psychology.
Psychology.
Yeah.
Yep. Next one, I feel like there is a big 4. This is the last big one I could think of, is sports management.
Sports management. Yes, that's a good one as well. American studies.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
General studies.
General studies is a good one. That's
right. A good one. Oh, and is it PE? Physical education. Like, that
would be sports management.
That's sports management
that kind of
as
counts
well.
In that, yeah.
You did communications too.
I was a journalism major.
Journalism. No. I'm talking about you named communication.
Well, journalism actually is another common
Journalism?
Journalism is one that a lot of guys do because they want to be broadcasters when they're done playing.
Yeah. So that's about 7. Those are the ones that you're allowed to take for the most part. Like what Josh Dobbs did at Tennessee is one, you probably better be a quarterback. 2, you better have great management skills as well.
I remember being in the Thornton Student Athlete Academic Center, and I've told this story before, but you are required to do a certain amount of tutoring and study hours where you have to go swipe your student ID, walk into the Student Athlete Academic Center, and you have to sit there for a certain amount of hours your freshman year until you aren't a freshman and you've gotten enough good grades in order to graduate from Thornton. And so there was one time I was in there, and listen, like, it's not for the track and cross country guys. Like, we don't travel that much to begin with. We don't have that much. Well, we do have that much practice, actually. I shouldn't sell myself short on that. But we don't need it. Like, let's just be honest. Like, I did not need for 100 level classes as a freshman. I did not need a tutor for poli-sci 101 as I travel twice. Political science, another one, actually. That's a good eighth one.
That's a good one.
I did not need a tutor for political science. So I'm sitting there learning about the Bill of Rights from this pre-law student that has just been tasked, that wants to get involved and help out the athletic department, big Vols fan. It's just, all right, now here we're going to learn about the Bill of Rights and take a look. Meanwhile, I'm in this conference room, and it's like a U-shaped table and a bunch of different tutoring sessions are going on. And then here's Josh Dobbs on the whiteboard writing like hieroglyphics. Like truly, he is putting marker to whiteboard on things that I still to this day am like, is that? I don't know what any of this means.
No doubt.
Doing his aerospace engineering tutoring, he would have been a junior when I was a freshman. So we're talking probably 200-300 level classes at this point, as he's a junior, probably actually senior level classes because he's in there for summers. But there are sports that need the help because they travel all the time.
Absolutely.
Football and basketball, baseball, like the sports that are never on campus.
Yeah.
Because they're always traveling for midweek and then weekend games, like all the time. Totally get it. Totally understand why they have to do the tutoring, but there were a lot of us that did not need that much tutoring.
No, did not. Criminal justice, I think you said that one too, was another one. And education. Education is another one too.
Oh, yeah, that's fair.
Education is another one as well. We have a question in our YouTube chat. You guys can check us there on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter, or Twitch as well.
There you go.
Let's say, or else what? Like, that's a great question right there. And it's hilarious that Steve Sarkisian.
What do you mean, or else what?
Like, as far as like those are the ones. I think this is within context of only the degrees you can do. If you don't take those, like guys that do like engineering, those are usually afternoon classes.
There are classes that you're just not going to be able to go to that are only offered either once or twice during the day.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how much of this has changed since most teams are going to morning practices, but we did have a couple of players. Some of them were like walk-on guys and guys that had just got on scholarship or just back end of the roster players that just were special teamers. They would take like those engineering classes or biology, whatever the case may be, to where you had to be in those lectures. And coaches would be encouraging-ish lightly, but if you miss practice, they will let you know, like, this is what you're here for. You're here to play football.
Right, especially making as much money as some of these guys are making.
Yeah.
I mean, you are there to do a job.
Absolutely. Sure. And that's kind of the way it's always been. I'm not sure there's anybody that went to their respective school that knew that, hey, I want to be in finance, I want to do engineering, I want to do one of these biology or whatever types of degrees.
Yeah.
And you actually were allowed to. Coaches were like push you towards a lane that'll have you available for practice. Right. And that's the way it's always kind of gone in those situations. So Steve Sarkisian saying basket weaving, like at UT, at least during the season, I took walking, I took bowling,
I took jogging, I took basketball.
I took jogging.
I actually got a B in jogging.
Did you? I got a B in walking, by the way, which is crazy because
missed class a couple times.
Nobody could track it. No,
well, we had tests also.
I don't think anybody got an A, to be quite honest with you, in that class.
GPS watch technology had not extended that far. We have that.
We didn't have that.
What I did, and maybe my degree is going to be null and void now, but I'm sorry. We would have a tracking app on our phones, or if we had a GPS watch, we could show the teacher how long we had jogged that day. And so one weekend, I just went for a run, and I took a screenshot of it. And I would show I was walking distance from the house on campus where I lived. I would walk back to my house, take a nap, come back, sprint back. That way it looked like I'd been sweating a little bit, and show the same screenshot of the last run that I'd done.
Hey, work harder, work smarter, not harder.
Listen, I ran 80 miles a week at one point. I did my time with running.
You did. I gotta give that to you, man. But history of rock and roll, all the electives that you could take. By the time you get to your senior year, if you last that long in college, you really don't have that many electives, and you got to buckle down.
You got to actually take stuff in your major.
You do.
See, and I think now, and I'm not speaking with 100% knowledge of this, but my assumption is that as much as Tennessee, and to be fair, I think other schools are probably this way too, have advanced in terms of the relationship between academics and athletics.
Yeah.
I think now if you had a player that wanted to come to Tennessee and wanted to do aerospace engineering, it feels like the university now has a good enough relationship with athletics to say, we are going to create a class time that allows this player or this group of players to have this major. Like, let's work with you.
Yeah.
Let's find a time that we can get a professor or get a TA or somebody to adjust here a little bit. I've also told this story of the first time I went to my public speaking teacher freshman year, because in my experience, the freshman year level classes were the ones that were way more difficult to deal with as athletes. And I don't think this would happen at UT now, but this was a sign of the era of Tennessee athletics and academics that I went to. I gave them my travel letter, which is a letter from the university saying, this student is allowed to leave class on these days. This is a letter from the university giving them an excuse to. It was public speaking like 101. Which clearly I have a lot of issues with. And the teacher goes, oh, well, you just know you're going to get a 0 if you miss any of those days, right?
0?
I was like, what do you mean I'm going to get a 0? I'm giving you a piece of paper that tells you I'm not going to get a 0. What are you talking about? I was a state champion speaker in high school. Dang it, I don't even need this. Just hand me an A and I'll move on. I think I got a B+ in that one anyway. But I didn't really care that much about grades, if you can't tell. But I was like...
There were those teachers and professors, though. Like, they were the ones that really took it serious in their jobs. But most of it was communication, though, as far as the teachers, if you had a good relationship with them. But back to Ole Miss.
Anyway, Steve Sarkisian.
Yeah, Keith Carter, like, their AD has a great point. And I think
did he finally respond?
He did it's in the article on ESPN. Yeah, you want to go ahead and read that one?
I don't have it.
He posted it on X, man. Ole Miss's athletic director Keith Carter responded to the comments from Steve Sarkisian yesterday. He put on Twitter, kind of amazing how uncomfortable our success is making some people.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Lightly, I roll with him there. Let me say this. I think the separation is Ole Miss versus Lane is a different judgment. That right there in itself is kind of weird. Lane also had more comments on that yesterday. I think I sent it to our group chat.
He apologized for it.
He did, but in the same sense, he's talking about the difference between Tennessee hating him and Ole Miss hating him.
Well, that was a separate thing.
Yeah, separate. Well, that was
He made
separate.
a lot of comments.
He apologized yesterday?
Yeah, he said, I apologize if anybody at Ole Miss or Mississippi was offended by what I said. In a 4-hour interview with Vanity Fair, I was asked a lot of questions on a lot of things, and Ole Miss has been wonderful to me and my family. I was asked questions about the differences in recruiting, and I said a narrative that we battled there from some out-of-state black parents and grandparents was not wanting their kid to move to Mississippi. That's a narrative that coaches have been fighting forever. It wasn't calculated by bringing it up.
Shut up, Lane.
Yeah, everything Lane Kiffin does is calculated. Very smart man, very smart individual.
He know how to get engagement.
But a little too smart sometimes for his own good.
Yeah.
Everything he does is calculated.
And the issue that he has is he doesn't get any grace with with anybody understanding him, because he's been so, I guess the word would be selfish. He's kind of burned bridges almost at many places that he's gone to. He's been the guy that's also, with him trying to be sincere in this situation, has mocked other teams and fan bases. Like, I don't think Ole Miss fans find themselves in that's just Lane being Lane thing. Like, you immediately start to hate him because those fan bases have seen him do this to other fan bases. They've seen him do it to Alabama. They've seen him do it to Tennessee fans. They've seen him do it to, I think he goes at USC, even though they fired him probably in the worst way.
Not as much USC.
Yeah, because they embarrassed him out at USC.
Left him on the tarmac. But Lane doesn't get any excuses whatsoever when he does this type of stuff. Steve Sarkisian slam dunking on it. I will say this. I do think Ole Miss has a very strong team coming back with what they did last year as well. It's going to be interesting to see how all that's managed, because you do bring back Trinidad Chambliss, and you're going to bring back those same level of expectations, but you also did lose a lot to LSU.
Yeah, you did. A ton to LSU. And Lane, and that's why Lane's saying those comments, whether he was being real about the challenges that all Ole Miss coaches deal with, or if he was just taking a shot and say, y'all should have let me coach in this college football playoff series still, which was totally not okay to begin with. There's no way he can be the head coach at LSU and still coach at Ole Miss. That made zero sense whatsoever.
So that was the Steve Sarkisian interview was in March.
This was
from
March.
USA Today's Matt Hayes, and it kind of just got aggregated yesterday and came to light a little bit. So Funny how all of these things work. I mean, my thing is that coaches want their guys focused on their sport, maybe more than they ever have before, with as much as they're getting paid.
Yeah.
And as much as those players cause headaches for coaches, I think there is less thinking about class and about academics as there ever has been before in the history of college athletics. I don't think that's really even that hot of a take.
Yeah, no.
They're making a lot of money.
Not.
They're doing photo shoots. They're signing autographs. And I think the other part of it is that more and more professors, and I've talked to multiple coaches about this, more and more professors want online classes because they don't want to be in class either.
COVID changed it.
It completely changed everything.
It changed it.
And even classes that are technically in person, you have more professors on college campuses that'll say, yeah, we're just going to do online today.
Yeah.
And there's some kind of hybrid of you're in person these days, you're online these days, you have lectures that are just online for these days. You'll have a guest speaker, just say, hey, we have a guest speaker, so go ahead and we'll just be on Zoom, just stay home. And there's nothing wrong with that.
No doubt.
But it also, I think it makes it easier to cheat, probably. And it also makes it easier to just not take it as seriously and lay in bed and turn your camera off or have your camera on and just roll out of bed 2 minutes before class starts.
Active.
Yeah, just show your face and that's that. So.
Do you think it's just the way I'll explain it is this? Seeing the way Steve Sarkisian joke about Ole Miss just having to do basket weaving to be eligible.
Yeah.
Do you think coaches actually take the degree serious when it comes down to it? I'll answer for myself at first. I think it's a check mark if they get a certain percentage to graduate. But the continuation of new player, new issues, saving my job as a head coach and trying to win football games, I think take the front seat 8 out of 10 times for most coaches, if we're being honest.
Yeah, I mean, and I think, too, it's difficult when, like, I do think coaches, for the most part, have good intentions on wanting to help young men become men by the time they leave and make good life choices and not only train them on the football field but off it. But with all the different things pulling coaches in different directions, for one, and two, with how little time that these coaches get with these athletes now, because most of them are coached by 3 different head coaches by the time they're done, or 2 different head coaches by the time they're done because they're all transferring. I don't blame coaches for getting a little cynical with some of this stuff because you've invested time and resources and money and travel into getting to know a 15-year-old that becomes a 16-year-old who you offer, a 17-year-old who commits to you, an 18-year-old who signs with you, and then a 20-year-old who transfers. Right. And then somebody else has got to finish the job on you teaching that guy study habits and taking notes in meetings and making eye contact and shaking hands of guest speakers after team meetings. Like, I don't blame coaches for being a little bit like, yeah, all right, like, but you could just go there and then all the work that I did here to prepare you for life, and you're going to this Texas business school it's hard to get into. Oh, you're just going to go take basket weaving at Ole Miss. Like, see you, buddy. Like, I don't really, I don't look down on Sarkisian for saying any of this. I mean, he's not wrong either.
That's what I'm saying. And like,
Texas is a good school.
I took his more of a joke when it came down to it, because if they are all in this coach's group chat, like, they probably laughed about it. You know what I'm saying? As far as like the comments, like,
Pete Golding knows. Like,
yeah, exactly.
I'd use it as an advantage. Like, you want to come here and play football and not play school? Come to Ole Miss.
Not play school.
To quote the great Cardell Jones.
No, that's 100% fact on that one.
Coaches have more pulling them in different directions than ever before, and they all feel. I just think coaches wake up angry right now. And honestly, I don't blame them. Because like we said, I mean, they're recruiting these kids when they're 15 or 16, and they just up and leave at the first sign of something getting tough at practice. And then you got to go replace them. And then you're dealing with all of this while the playoff is going on when you're looking in the transfer portal. Like, it's just not a good time to be a college football coach.
That part
other than the money you're making.
And that's what I was going to say, too, though. But that's affecting players. I had a conversation with somebody yesterday. That part of it, the money component, is affecting players post-playing at the university. Let's say the ones that don't go to colleges, but they get $150,000 or something like that within like 6 or 7 months. Okay, like, these guys are given opportunities because of the alum and connections and networking and stuff like that for a non-NFL player who wants to go and say somebody wants them on the banking side, like starting off at a bank. A bank, now this is a good starter money for most people, but like a bank starting off at like $65,000, $70,000 as an, entrance level salary. Some of these guys are just either walking away from it or turning it down because they don't understand, that's actually real life money right there. What you got in college at $150,000 over 6 months is not reality. It's kind of skewed the end purpose of what college used to mean because, again, you get so much up front. And you got to think, I got to work 350 days a year to get half of what I got in college, and it kind of throws them off a little bit. That's why saving does matter.
I'm guessing, too, it's harder for these guys who have transferred so much to be embraced by an alumni network for job opportunities when you burn a bridge with a lot of those when you transfer to a rival.
For sure.
For 1 year. And you don't have maybe as much time to get to know the folks at the Miami Alumni Network. That's probably not a good example because Carson Beck did so well at Miami. But you think people at Georgia want Carson Beck doing a speaker series stuff as former Georgia quarterback Carson Beck anymore?
No.
Probably not.
No.
He's probably only doing stuff as former Miami quarterback Carson Beck. And don't underestimate how much money you are leaving on the table by leaving an alumni network that would have either A, gotten you a job, or B, had you speak at their touchdown club or their, convention and stuff like that. We're talking six-figure money appearance fee stuff that you're sometimes turning down just to transfer.
I know Johnny Manziel.
It's not nothing.
Johnny Manziel came from money, but legitimate. I think he did anyway, the way it was reported. But he gonna be rich forever on the Texas A&M circuit. To your point, he had a cup of coffee in the league, but he's, to your point, a quarterback.
Yep.
That'll never have a money problem.
Heck, he's making an entry-level bank job just from the Nissan Heisman House money, probably.
For real. That's unique. I'm glad we can openly though talk about this now.
Well, it's life. I mean, we think of these guys as, I think sometimes always being football players, and everyone has to have a second act.
Everybody has to have a second act.
That's a big deal. It's a really big deal. 615-737-1045, our number. More headlines when we come back. The latest on Missouri running back Ahmad Hardy. Rory McIlroy cutting a practice round short up in Philly for the PGA Championship. And Cal Raleigh did something really weird to get good luck in a Major League Baseball game. We'll talk about all that next. Wrapping up hour one on this Wednesday morning edition of Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045, our number. So Missouri running back Ahmad Hardy was released from the hospital on Tuesday after he was shot in the leg at a concert in Mississippi early Sunday morning. Eli Drakewitz provided an update on this yesterday during their equivalent of the Big Orange Caravan for Missouri. Said, I can tell you Ahmad Hardy has been discharged from the hospital. He's back at Missouri Orthopedic Institute. He's working on recovery. He said the timetable for that recovery is not determined. We'll take it day by day. He will get back healthy. You know, when you're dealing with elite athletes, right? Getting back healthy, getting back to elite status is always a little bit tricky in some of these situations. He says there is an opportunity he'll be back this year. There's an opportunity he couldn't be back this year. We won't know those answers for a few weeks, but he's got the full support of Missouri Healthcare. He's got the full support of our team as we continue to help him recover and work it day by day. Ahmad Hardy was seen as a potential first-round pick in the 2027 NFL Draft entering this season. He rushed for 1,649 yards and 16 touchdowns. In the last 2 years, has 3,000 yards and 29 touchdowns since transferring into the Tigers program last season.
You've been high on him. You spoke very high of Ahmad Hardy, even last year sometime. I really don't love the comments right there, though. Saying he'll be back at some point. Like, I don't know what that means. Like, when he says he'll be back at some point. Like,
he'll have a football career.
I know, but like, how late in the season will he get back? I mean, getting shot, depending on if it hit a bone or something like that, it could be super traumatic. He'll be back.
Well, he said he might not be back this year, though.
He might not.
Yeah, so in the whole quote, Eli Drakewitz said, there's an opportunity he'll be back. There's an opportunity he couldn't be back this year. We won't know those answers for a few weeks.
It usually in these situations, I'll just say, it's usually your hometown that does you the dirtiest in this type of stuff. Like, we joked a couple of days ago about, man, it might be one of his former teammates. It was 3 of them. It was 3 of his former high school teammates, whether it was intended for him or they just let freedom ring because they were just being idiots inside of a small compacted concert building in Hattiesburg, Mississippi. Just flagrant on them. I was general in saying, like, man, it might be a teammate, and it was.
It's crazy.
I'm sure if it was intended for him, jealousy. I tell anybody if it's if you're headed back to your hometown, be aware. You might not want to go to the same places, even though I will say you want your hometown love. Everybody want to go back to the high school and show off like, hey, look at me. And sometimes people aren't happy for you in these situations. And Ahmad Hardy had to deal with that if those shots were actually intended for him. That's tough.
It's crazy. Heartbreaking. If it does, heartbreaking just regardless of if he comes back and plays the whole season. But it's just crazy that we have to talk about stuff like that. Like the jealousy, and again, we don't know all the motives and everything. Right. We don't know the whole story, but for high school teammates to be involved with that, just going back home, to even have to worry about that when you go back home is just heartbreaking. 2
guys that have been shot and played recently. Ricky Pearsall, right, went to San Francisco. He got shot in, I think, the upper body chest area. He did make it back. In Brian Robinson. Running back. Another running back that got shot. He ended up coming back to the Commanders, and he did have one of the coolest intros of Welcome Back to the Game with the 50 Cent intro.
Many men wished death upon me. Yeah, they played that as you ran out. That's hard.
I was sick there. Okay. Not a reason to get shot, but that was pretty sick.
Oh, definitely not. Yesterday, Rory McIlroy paused his Tuesday practice round ahead of this week's PGA Championship for a blister on his right pinky toe. Aw. Coming off his second straight Masters victory, Rory McIlroy talked this week about how the overall feeling going into this year's PGA Championship is different from last year in a good way. Talking about coming to this tournament feels a lot better, feels like I've got a nice clear road ahead to try to get some more of these majors, he says. Says he's got a blister on his pinky toe at his right foot, but it's underneath his nail. So early on Tuesday, he told Irish media he had removed the nail on his pinky toe and would be sizing up in shoes to try to limit the discomfort. But as he played and walked Aronimink's first 3 holes, he was visibly bothered by it. It It was enough to force him off the course. Not great. I will say, though, from the sport that I did, we're talking way too much about the sport that I did this morning.
We love this.
I'll leave that in the first hour.
That's for sickos.
Don't underestimate how much that actually hurts.
Oh, for real?
I had a blood blister on my toe, like pretty much all the time once we got in season. Justin, I'm sure you did too with soccer.
Oh, yeah. Those cleats, you have to wear them tight.
Yeah.
Yeah. The tighter they are, the better they are.
The what?
If the tighter the cleats are, the better you are.
Oh.
Because you have better footing. Because they're more like your own foot.
I believe that.
If you have a bigger shoe on, like let's say you're a size 12 and you wear 12 and a half, you'll be a little bit more loose. You kind of lose your balance a little bit more.
That's interesting. I feel like mine were sometimes when I did have too big of a shoe and my foot would like hit up against the wall of the shoe.
Oh, mine was
I wear a
tight.
10 and a half. Sometimes I'd wear a 10 for games.
Interesting.
I think I wear like a perfect 14. Like my toe hits just right before the front of the shoe.
Yeah, right.
I'm talking about strapped in.
Interesting.
I'm talking about tight.
Interesting.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't feel as bad with those once I actually started running.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine in golf, when you're never totally in motion like that, you're just kind of starting and stopping and starting and stopping and like turning off that foot.
Mm-hmm.
I probably wouldn't feel good.
I'd have been there before
We'll
with
see.
cleats as well, like switching some practice shoes and you get that back heel.
Yeah, right.
Just put
Like
some of that
blister.
second skin, those little gel patches on. Just put some of that on.
Ain't nothing you can do. Well, you can also put, what I would do is,
It'll ease it.
like the lubricant stuff they used to have for like the pre-tape and stuff is like skin lube.
Yeah.
When I did get blisters, like I would put like a fist
kinda like the
amount.
Vaseline?
Yeah, it's like Vaseline, like
okay.
a fist amount
Interesting.
on the back of my shoe so to help like the friction or whatever. But I can imagine the golfing side.
Like
of it.
heel and lace pads. Remember those?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep,
Oh,
those-
gosh. We used to spend hours just taking
greasing them up.
just taking like a little stick and just go dip it in the Vaseline and then go doop on the heel and lace pad. Make two
it's
of them.
like the pre-wrap.
And then every time you tape an ankle, you put them on the heel and the front of the
Yep.
foot. Mm-hmm.
Yesterday, Cal Raleigh, Seattle Mariners catcher who has struggled this year, showered in his full uniform after Monday night's game in the middle of an 0-for-38 slump. Yesterday, he had 2 singles and a 10-2 round at the Houston Astros. It worked.
He showered.
This is your sign. It's early enough in the morning. If you're having if you're in a rut at work, if you're slumping, you can't close a deal, something, you're just having trouble, just shower in a suit this morning. Shower in your full work clothes, and maybe like Cal Raleigh, you too can do better at work today.
Did you see Shohei pretty much about to get sat down, and then he also got out of it as well last night with a home run?
What?
It was like Shohei Ohtani. To your point about good
What
luck
did he do?
stuff, he's been in his worst slump ever, apparently.
good.
Actually,
Fantastic.
well, he got out of it last night. He had a home run.
I'm sorry to hear that. If Ohtani has 0 haters, I'm dead. 615-737-1045. Nashville SC tickets when we come back. Big one on Sunday. Nashville SC taking on LAFC. Son Heung-min going to be here for LAFC. Jacob Schaffelberg's return to Geodis Park. We've got a pair of tickets to give away for NSC's debut on Sunday Night Soccer. And we'll preview tonight's matchup for Nashville SC. Another first versus second battle for the boys in gold. We'll talk about coming up next.
It's that time of the year where love is in the air. And my friends at Genesis Diamonds are helping you celebrate the occasion with the most beautiful jewelry, the most dazzling diamonds, and the most gorgeous rings on the planet. Genesis are all the brands you see online, too. From the top designers, there are no cookie-cutter, mass-produced rings like you see at other places. A Genesis ring is distinctive, unique, and handmade by the finest American craftsmen, designed by true artisans as well. So if you're getting engaged or maybe celebrating a special anniversary, don't settle for a plain ring. Get her a Genesis ring that she will be so proud to wear. The team at Genesis will make you feel so welcome, comfortable. They are laid back, never push in. They're not on commission if you was worried about that too. They're true experts who will help you with the honest guidance and expert advice. If you got questions about diamonds, want to know the real scoop on lab-grown diamonds, if you want to avoid overpaying, Genesis will make sure you get the education you need to make a smart decision. Genesis Diamonds, best selection, lowest prices, highest quality. quality, strongest warranties, and a 5-star rated staff. And don't forget about their Rolex collection as well. It will blow your mind. Genesis Diamonds, they're located in Green Hills and Cool Springs.
7:03. Good morning, live from the Circus Sports, the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. NBA playoffs Tuesday night. The Spurs took Game 5 in the 3-2 series lead over the Minnesota Timberwolves with a 126-97 win. Victor Wembanyama made up for his first career ejection that happened in Game 4, putting up 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks to lead the Spurs in the win. Wembanyama became the third youngest player in NBA playoff history to post a stat line of 25-plus points, 15-plus rebounds, and 5-plus assists, joining just Magic Johnson and Luka Doncic. NHL playoffs last night, the Sabres beat the Canadiens in Game 4, 3-2, tying their series up at 2-2, and a late-night thriller as the Golden Knights beat the Ducks 3-2, 4 minutes into overtime to take Game 5 and the 3-2 series lead. Coming up tonight, the Eastern Conference leader in the MLS, Nashville Soccer Club, back on the pitch in Foxborough as they take on New England Revolution. Kickoff set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Tune into 104.5 The Zone. Pregame starts at 6. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
So the Titans have come a long way this offseason. Year one of the Robert Saleh era, year two for Cam Ward, for Mike Borgonzi. How much of an impact have they made on their overall outlook in the AFC South for the 2026 season? Hour number 2 of Ramon and Will off and running. We're going to talk about that coming up here in 15 minutes. Take a look at the different hauls of prospects, of free agents, of just overall moves made in the division. Who's made the biggest jump? Who's improved the most at the AFC South? We'll talk about that coming up here in just about 15 minutes. But right now, Ramon, we have got tickets to give away for a game this weekend for a bandwagon that you have joined.
Yes.
It's Winning Wednesday on 104.5 The Zone. Nashville SC hosts LAFC this Sunday at Geodis Park, and we have your chance to win tickets. Be caller number 5 right now to win 2 tickets to be there. 615-737-1045. Winning Wednesday brought to you by Shoney's. From their fresh food bar to their classic menu items, you can't go wrong. Plus, their new family meals to go are perfect for your get-together. With locations in Clarksville, Dixon, Lebanon, and Nashville, Shoney's Let's Eat. Sunday night soccer at Geodis Park between Nashville SC and LAFC. 615-737-1045. Caller number 5 will get 2 tickets to be there. Should be a good one.
Should be a good
Nashville
time.
SC's debut, Ramon, on Sunday Night Soccer, which is a new thing from MLS and Apple TV over the past couple of years, which is essentially like Sunday Night Football.
Mm-hmm.
Big game of the week, Sunday Night Soccer.
Let's go, man. I'll be real with you. I do like the expansion of what soccer's done. I tried to catch you live the other day, too, last weekend, if I'm not mistaken, as well. Just to hear my dog on there, number one. But secondly, just to keep up with Nashville SC. I know it ended in a tie this past weekend, too, and it's time to get right. Had some reserves that were in. We're not dealing with that anymore, okay? Is everybody back healthy?
Yes, we are.
I got to keep up more.
Unfortunately, everyone who was injured for Saturday is also injured for tonight.
Yeah, well, this is part of the season, though, right? Like, not that it's going to hurt. Will it hurt anything by having another tie?
I mean, it's early.
Go. It's early.
NSC is 11 matches into the season. They've got 24 points on the board. First of the Eastern Conference. As they take the field tonight against New England, this is a first versus second matchup.
Okay.
So you've got an opportunity to extend your lead to 5 points over the New England Revolution and also stay in front of Inter Miami and Lionel Messi, who's going to figure things out and get better. They've stumbled out of the gates a little bit. We'll probably hire a new coach in the World Cup break, which is coming up here in just a few games. But if you want to watch Nashville SC, which, first of all, why wouldn't you? You should. They're in first, and they're fun to watch, and the sport's growing. All these things you should want to check in at this point. You only have a couple more games to do so until they take a month break, because the World Cup is a month from yesterday.
Yeah,
or a month from 2 days ago. For the U.S., it's a month from yesterday. NSC has just 3 more games before the World Cup break. So they play tonight
Yeah.
Well, after tonight, they have 3 more games. They play tonight. I was right the first time. 3 more games. They play tonight. They play Sunday against LAFC, and then they play New York City the week after that on the 30th.
Man.
23rd. On the 23rd. Goodness, I'm mixed up. Yes, on the 23rd. LAFC Sunday, NYCFC on the 23rd, and then they don't play till July 17th.
Okay.
So tonight's a big one. First versus second. BJ Callahan was, before he was the head coach at Nashville Soccer Club, was the interim head coach for the U.S. men's national team. 2023 summer, beat Canada and Mexico in the Nations League in order to bring a trophy back for the United States, the U.S. men's national team. One of his assistants was Marko Mitrovic, who is now the manager of New England Revolution. Marco is in his first season, so these two have worked together. They know each other very well. This is a rematch of the first game of the season in which Nashville won 4-1 at home at Geodis Park, but both of those teams had very different-looking personnel. Neither of the center backs who started that match for New England on match day 1 are probably going to start tonight. Mamadou Fofana is back healthy, and Ethan Kohler, who started at right back the first time, is now back at center back as they've gotten healthier at also fullback and have been able to move things around a little bit. Nashville will once again be without Sam Surridge, Eddie Taxett, and Patrick Yazbek. But without those guys, did a little bit of digging last night, Ramon.
Yeah.
Nashville SC was down by 2 goals on Saturday. They came back to get a result. They got a draw. They were also hitting the crossbar away from winning.
Yeah.
In its history, Nashville SC now has come back from down 2 goals to get a result 7 times ever, including Saturday.
Wow.
Very hard to do. Come
Yeah.
back from down multiple goals, especially as late as they were down multiple goals in the 75th minute. That was the first time in MLS play since 2021 that Nashville SC had been down by multiple goals and come back to get either a win or a draw. It was a match against Cincinnati in the fall of 2021, a 6-3 win when they were down 2-0 at first. When they came back and won that game. That was the last time NSC in an MLS game had come back from multiple goals. So interested to see what they look like tonight. Warren Madrigal was the hero the other night, had 2 goals off the bench for NSC in the final 15 minutes plus stoppage time. He also scored in his debut against New England back at the beginning of the season, so was good in that matchup as well. Going to be interested to see what NSC does and how much they change their lineup around with another game coming up Sunday. So games are coming quickly right now for the boys in gold, who remain at the top of the Eastern Conference tonight. First versus second, pregame at 6, kickoff right after 6:30 here on The Zone.
No doubt about it. It's got to be commendable, though, for the reserves last week that were playing. I hate calling them that, but guys that were in for starters, legitimately, because, again, to your point, like, to be able to surge back that late in the match to tie it up and not actually take a L, that's commendable. I would hope this week, even though just as challenging, that they learn. That's what I'm always for about starters. Like, you legitimately put yourself in a situation where, okay, the first time around you learn and then the next time you grow. And hopefully for SC this weekend, that's what they're capable of, especially if they're trying to look at themselves as true pros. Like, this is now your opportunity. I feel like after your first start, especially when you're up at an upper level, whether in college or in the pros, you should be expected to take a bigger step the next time around with understanding the pace, speed, competition level, and stuff like that.
Not only this weekend, but tonight, 6 o'clock.
Good stuff.
Could be a fun one. Apple TV, you can listen on The Zone. You can sync up my call and be on the television with me.
Yeah.
So this is also my last game because Lucas has got the last 2 before the World Cup break. So this is my last game till late July. So a little break here in the middle of World Cup and works well for getting married a month from today.
I was going to say, you got a wedding that you got to get ready for
busy.
as well.
That's all right.
That's actually pretty cool. Both of y'all knock those out like that, man. You multifaceted producers and just hosts out here. I just want to come in the booth just one time. That's all.
Why not? Come hang out.
That's all. I'll be back up there before the summer ends. I'll probably get up there in July sometime, though.
Okay.
Just to be real, which I ain't going to overpromise it right now.
You're a little busy, too.
Yeah, just a little bit. Summer about to pick up for the boys. I told my youngest, like, hey, be ready to run starting Tuesday. He get back from the state championship in Knoxville. We gonna hit the ground running, literally and figuratively, when it comes down to his condition and getting ready for high school. I got 2 high schoolers right now. I'm not okay.
Crazy.
I'm not okay.
It's crazy.
It comes at you fast.
So, yep, I'll be calling soccer tonight. Whatever y'all want to talk about tomorrow, y'all plan it. Y'all enjoy.
I got you.
Y'all enjoy prepping the show.
I got you.
No, I'm kidding.
By the way, you brought up the World Cup and the World Cup break, too. I know we're going to get to it at some point in time, but the World Cup got American football in a tizzy. Do you hear me?
Yeah, we're going to get to that at 8 about the World Cup's got everybody in a tizzy, not just American football.
Yeah.
They've got ticket prices that are totally ridiculous. There's travel problems.
Stadium branding.
Public transit that are gouging like train prices. Like it's a mess. It is honestly hurting my excitement for one of the best sporting events and the biggest sporting event in the world.
Legitimately.
Whatever it happens. It's a total mess.
How can we not get this right?
Yeah.
Like, it ain't bothering me and like I'm overplaying it, but
it's bothering me.
The prices
it's bothering me.
The NFL being in the mix of this right now, we'll get to that later, but goodness.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
It's supposed to be a world celebration.
It is far from it. 615-737-1045. Who has improved the most in the AFC South this offseason? And have the Titans done enough to compete in the division? Where are the Titans in the hierarchy of their neighborhood? We'll talk about that coming up next. Credit card interest rates are now over 29%, and most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit cards, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. And here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out-of-pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long, drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at near 3-year lows, so act now. Go to loanpronto.com, see how much you can get in about 60 seconds. That's Loan Pronto with 2,800 five-star Google reviews. Call 615-499-5780 or visit loanpronto.com. That's 615-499-5780 or online at loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
It's National Police Week this week, and to celebrate, Two Rivers Ford is hosting a free family meet and greet with the Mount Juliet Police Department this Saturday, May 16th from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. as well. Yes, it's in the morning, man. Bring them by. Get an opportunity to meet the servicemen and women who police and patrol your neighborhood. It's one way to better relationships, get to know them, and you might actually get an opportunity to drive a car. Now, I'm playing. They won't let you drive the car, but I'm sure you can get inside of it. So go ahead and bring the kids and come and meet the dedicated police officer of the Mount Juliet Police Department. Good people. Explore the inside of the car. Get to know the tools of the trade and engage with the first responders. Also, there will be food there. You can get you some Chick-fil-A biscuits. You can also register for door prizes and so much more. And while you're there, you can check out the incredible employee pricing deals that Two Rivers Ford has going on right now, too. So you can get a 2-for-1. Check out a new car. Also, check out the policeman's car as well and get a chance to learn and know them. But again, it's Blue and You this Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. at Two Rivers Ford. They're located 76 Belinda Parkway in Mount Juliet.
Are you dealing with flickering lights, faulty outlets, or a circuit that won't stay on at home? Well, Lee Company has your back. Lee Company's award-winning team of electricians handle it all, from routine repairs and fixture upgrades to whole home generators. Available 24/7, keep your home efficient and safe by contacting Lee Company online at leecompany.com. And that website, leecompany.com, is really the only website you need for any of the issues going on at the house. Your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical systems, those flickering lights that you know have been flickering for a while, but you've been putting it off. You haven't been thinking about it. Well, this is your reminder to think about it again. I love working with Lee Company because when you need somebody to come out there and fix something around the house, they are the one-stop shop to get things done for you. Lee Company's been in business for over 80 years in Middle Tennessee. You can check them out again online at leecompany.com for professional electrical service. That's Lee Company, all you need. Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone, hour number 2 on your Wednesday morning. Talk a little college football coming up in hour number 3. But right now, Ramon, I want to look around the AFC South, and we're going to do this with every division. We started looking at AFC South specific stuff a week ago when Rhett Bryan was in. And, of course, it's a Wednesday morning, so he'll be here again at 9 today. We'll move on to NFC East later in the show today. Go ahead and check that box, because if you just turn on First Take, you hear plenty about the NFC East. But the Titans do play the NFC East this year.
Yes, they do.
So a division of importance for the Titans schedule. AFC South division winner odds from ESPN as of this morning on their website at ESPN.com. Who do you think the favorite is to win the AFC South this year?
Houston.
The odds makers agree with you.
Yeah.
And so do I.
Yeah, I do too.
Plus 125, the Houston Texans odds to win the AFC South in 2026. You putting Jacksonville 2 or Indy 2? Because there's a pretty big gap here.
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville is 2.
Yeah.
Plus 210. The Indianapolis Colts plus 390 to win the AFC South. And then a wide gap back to the Titans. Odds makers believing the Titans will once again be 4th in the AFC South, plus 800 to win the division this upcoming season. Maybe not specifically saying they'll be 4th, but just saying they've got the 4th best chance of winning the division.
This isn't that they'll come in 4th place, is what you're saying?
No, it's odds to win the AFC
South. To win
South.
the South.
Yep.
Yeah, gotcha.
My question to you, Ramon, is this. Have the Titans done enough this offseason to get out of the basement in this division?
Yeah, I think so. And I would also cover that. I would also compliment that, yes, by also saying, too, because other teams in the AFC South have similar issues that have to be resolved as well. I'll start with the first one. The Colts getting their quarterback back healthy. Not just him, Sauce Gardner also being healthy as well into that component. As far as Quentin Nelson go in the offensive line, too, can they continue to solidify and make that one of their strong suits as well? I think Quentin's up after this season as far as the contract goes, so he might get an extension this summer. I'm not necessarily worried about that part. But they got some pieces in place that you got to look at. Also, the subtraction of Alec Pierce. Going to not Alex Pierce. Michael Pittman.
Pittman is Pittsburgh.
They're calling him Pittsburgh also right now. So yeah, a little nickname they're throwing out there
fun.
Right now. Pittsburgh is just a lot to deal with, but hey, it is what it is. I'll rock with it. If they like it, I love it. But he's also gone. Where are the answers as far as that go? I know Josh Downs is good. You got JT still, Jonathan Taylor still there as well. But I look at a settled in. Well, I'm a huge fan of Daniel Jones. How quickly can he get back up to speed with the Achilles? The leg will be fine as far as it being broken and stuff like that. But he is he's a mobile type of quarterback, and that lends itself to help their offenses from time to time. They got issues with health, in my opinion.
I think the Colts are by far the best chance of a team for the Titans to one-up this upcoming season. They are the team most vulnerable to me. I think you look at their subtractions. No more Braden Smith. He's a Texan now.
Yep.
Zaire Franklin is gone at linebacker.
Traded.
Michael Pittman Jr. is gone. Nick Cross is gone. Kwity Paye is gone. Zaire Franklin was traded to the Packers, to your point. They add C.J. Allen with the 53rd pick, which was their first pick that they made in the draft. LSU safety A.J. Halsey can come in right away and compete with Cam Bynum and Juan Thomas at safety. Jalen Farmer, the guard out of Kentucky.
Like him.
A swing interior player behind Quentin Nelson, Tanner Bordolini, and Matt Gonsalves that they have inside. The question for me is Jalen Travis at right tackle. Between that and how Alec Pierce adjusts to being more of the guy at wide receiver. Their front three at wide receiver on their depth chart. Alec Pierce, Josh Downs, and old friend Nick Westbrook-Akine.
Hey, now.
Did Daniel Jones really arrive again? Or did he have a Kerry Collins season last year, like the Titans did when they went 13-3? Did he have one excellent year, buoyed by an experienced offensive line, a good cast of characters, a solid run game? I just think the floor is so much lower for Indy, and we saw what it was last year when they were not good down the stretch. The floor is so much lower for Indy, all based on the health of Jonathan Taylor. Jonathan Taylor, when healthy, with a at least competent passing game, makes Indianapolis a really good offense. And I like Shane Steichen. I think that he's an underrated offensive coach, an offensive mind. Not the biggest fan of Chris Ballard. And I think he's really outlasted the time that he should have gotten there in Indianapolis with the amount of mistakes that he's made. But I just think you are so reliant on that running back and that running game. Again, if you saw Jonathan Taylor go down for any stretch of time, or if Daniel Jones comes back and isn't himself after the torn Achilles, I think the Colts are the most vulnerable team when you look at teams in this division the Titans could jump up and get in 2026.
Yeah.
I don't think it's even close either, because I think Jacksonville is going to at least be solid again. I think Houston is a Super Bowl contender with what they've done this offseason.
Yes, 100%. I just saw an article yesterday that had Houston as one of the best rated just rosters in all of football. They were top 10 as far as roster construction goes.
I think they are too.
I do look at Indy's situation, and it's more fragile than I think others are, even though fixing the offensive line in Jacksonville is always going to be a question for them and what Trevor Lawrence looks like on a week-to-week basis. He's got weapons, whatever that may be as well. But I do look at, to your point about Alec Pierce, I don't know if the Michael Pittman Jr. trade is going to pay off for Indianapolis this year, just based off the fact that, like, I think Alec Pierce is a real good 2. Maybe bottom tier 1. How is he when he's not just catching balls down the field, where he's just simply got a hop on him on a route-to-route, play-to-play basis? Can he be your premier guy? Well, we're going to find out, okay, because they've made him that right now. I know Tyler Warren is solid. Josh Downs is also a great weapon for him as well. I don't know if they're going to have a lower floor. I view the offensive line situation, of course, like you mentioned, at right tackle is problematic for them. But if they can hide one of them, right tackle should be one of them, especially when you got Tyler Warren that's close to the line of scrimmage as well. I probably have the floor a little bit higher than you do on this one. I do question this point around, like, was it, a good Kerry Collins season for Daniel Jones? Or is he really, just a pumpkin, essentially, when the clock strikes midnight, when the season kicks off? I'm a fan of his. I will say that as well, because I think he has the talent. As long as that offensive line holds up somewhat and Jonathan Taylor's in the lineup, I think he can be productive. I don't think he glitches out like certain quarterbacks in these situations before, like Geno Smith did last year with the Raiders, who's now also a starter with the Jets. I need that type of luck and love when it comes down to the NFL, okay? But with that being said, the AFC South, I think, is going to be more competitive because of they got veteran pieces and playmakers at almost every team right now. I'll raise the floor probably 2 floors higher than where you have Indy at this point.
I just don't love their receiving core or their right tackle situation.
It's not cute at all. The wide receiver
Deion
core.
Burks is their day 3 receiver pick that's going to have to come in and help them.
And, it's JT is the answer, I think, in that situation. Jonathan Taylor. I think he's the answer. I don't trust, to your point, as far as wide receiver groups in the AFC South, I think Indy might be at the bottom of it, because what is Alec Pierce as a wide receiver threat without Michael Pittman?
Jalen Travis will be the right tackle expected to get the start for Indy. 24-year-old, 4th-round pick in 2025 out of Iowa State. He is 6'8", 339.
Yeah.
Big dude.
The defense, though, I think it's going to be still just as solid. If Sauce can get healthy, though, too. If Sauce is what we think, Sauce Gardner is who we think he is.
Sure.
Ahmad Gardner.
I think Houston is the class of this division, and I'm not sure it's really all that close just from a pure roster standpoint.
It's elite.
They added Wyatt Teller at guard, David Montgomery at running back, former Colts tackle Braden Smith, who's just solid.
Wyatt Teller.
Not going to win any awards. He's just solid.
Oh.
Reed Blankenship comes over at safety, former MTSU safety. They subtract Joe Mixon, Jimmy Ward, Juice Scruggs, and Tommy Townsend. Their 1st-round pick was Keelan Rutledge. They just got bigger. They just got dudes on the line of scrimmage in their draft. Keelan Rutledge comes over, again, former MTSU guy, and former Georgia Tech guard. They draft him with the 26th pick. Run stopper in Caden McDonald. If that front 4 stays healthy, I think it's rivaling L.A. and Seattle for best defensive lines in football, best front lines on defense in football. Marlon Klein is a really athletic tight end from Michigan. Wade Woodaz has played a ton of football coming over from Clemson. He's inserted into an already deep linebacker room. Mm-hmm. There's just not a major weakness if the offensive line can get better with what they've added. And they may have added 3 starters this offseason in Wyatt Teller, Keelan Rutledge, and Braden Smith. The question is all on C.J. Stroud as far as their ceiling goes. Because I think Houston's floor is by far the highest in the league because Houston has a championship-level defense. And last season, Ramon, you look at a lot of stats, they may have been the best defense in football. Seattle would have a claim to say, I don't know about that, but Houston was right up there for best defense in football. At the end of the day, C.J. Stroud just threw the ball to the other team way more than he can and made too many fatal mistakes for them to overcome. And even in one of those games, they still were able to advance when they got into postseason football. Their ceiling is totally dependent on their quarterback. They have given that quarterback a lot more resources to hopefully raise his floor just as an individual with the way they've rebuilt that offensive line.
I mean, if you truly do believe in the defenses win championships, they got a championship level defense.
100%.
They locked everybody
100%.
up. Azeez Al-Shaair just got paid. Will Anderson Jr. got his. Daniil Hunter got his. And we're not even talking about the young guys that they have on first-year contracts. I mean, first-time contracts like Jalen Petre and Kamari Laster. Like, they checked the
Derek
box.
Stingley. I mean, they are loaded on defense.
It is, as much as you're trying to rebuild the Titans in the AFC South, like there's still a gap between Houston and everybody else right now. Their issue, and you brought it up, and I completely agree with you on this, and I have no pushback. C.J. Stroud, what are you? How are you going to be?
I mean, it's lazy sometimes to say a season is all on a quarterback.
No.
I don't think it is for Houston.
Not here.
Their ceiling is totally dependent on their quarterback.
Allegedly, Joe Mixon shot himself this last offseason. There's a report going around about that. You hadn't heard. They shot himself in the foot. Nobody's speaking of it. And the fact, like, it's been dropped around Houston. I've seen them aggregated on my social media.
He's not on the team anymore.
He's not on the team. But they've tried to facilitate a run game for him constantly. Last year, the offensive line wasn't great by any means. I think they got better later in the season. Houston went. But as you said, legitimately went out and got bodies. They got guys who were serviceable. We question, of course, them getting rid of Laramie Tunsil. They got Ariante Ursery right now at left tackle. Trent Brown, I think, is penciled in to be the right guard. And, of course, with Keelan Rutledge, we know what he's capable of because what we studied him in the preseason. Dalton Schultz, they check every single box right now. C.J. Stroud, to me, is where his decision-making, what he does with his legs when he tries to get outside of the pocket, I think he is like a deer in headlights when he gets outside of the box. And that's been his issue. Throwing on a run, making better decisions, and knowing when to tuck the ball or get rid of it. He has been dicey. But what he has, and he showed it, that this team showed it last year. I specifically remember it in Pittsburgh. He's yelling bye, bye, bye like he's the Backstreet Boys. And he did nothing in that game against Pittsburgh last year. I think numerous interceptions. But you know who did? That defense.
They did. No doubt. Tank Dell's return possible?
Yeah.
As well?
What version of him?
With him coming back, C.J. Stroud was a lot better with Tank Dell before his just incredibly gruesome injury. When he comes back, what version of himself is he? Remains to be seen. It does look like he will play, but is he the Tank Dell before he had a just very violent leg injury? I don't know.
C.J. Stroud, to me, is the biggest question mark when it comes to teams committing numerous millions amounts of dollars to quarterbacks per year.
He's almost Tua level.
Because he was he's different to me than Hurts, I feel like. One Hurts.
He's Tua.
Yeah. Yes.
I think he's just good enough to get a pay raise, but he's also just bad enough to handcuff you because he's going to get more than maybe you would prefer to give him in a perfect world.
That makes sense. Without the iconic pocket watching conversation, but like C.J. Stroud makes me uneasy about committing $50 million to a guy that's been, I hate to say carried, but looking at what Will Anderson Jr.'s done versus what he's done, it doesn't compare.
No, the value in what Will Anderson Jr. brings them compared to the value that C.J. Stroud has not brought them. It's hard to compare.
It's hard to compare.
And you got to pay a premium for quarterbacks because it's so hard to find them.
And that's the dirty part of like this quarterback structure in the NFL right now.
Either pay him or trade him.
If they could trade, yeah, that's what I was just going to. If they could trade for a better option.
But as good as that defense is, I mean, it's kind of a hard sell to say we're going to trade our quarterback and potentially waste a championship-level defense.
And you know, like I've even said it, so I'm going to check myself just a little bit too. Like sometimes you're paid not to mess it up as a quarterback.
Sure.
The issue is CJ will mess it up for you as far as wins and losses go. And that's where he's polarizing us. Like, yeah, he's good enough, but how good is good when you dealing with him on a week-to-week basis of he folds, I feel like, from time to time.
Yeah. For Jacksonville, I mean, I think the Jags will be good again. They're not going to surprise anybody this year, being the AFC South champions last season. Trevor Lawrence, of course, at quarterback. Chris Rodriguez expected to be the starter at running back now with Travis Achan. We used to call him ETN. Now we've learned it's Achan. Now a member of the New Orleans Saints. What does Travis Hunter's role look like coming back from injury? I do think he'll play more defense than offense. Yeah. Do they really need him on offense with a wide receiver room that with Jacoby Myers and Parker Washington leading the way last year looked more than serviceable? Yeah. Offensive line is a question here again. Anton Harrison, a question at right tackle. Yeah. At defense, they don't have Devin Lloyd at linebacker anymore. It looks like Ventrell Miller is going to step in, former Florida Gator, at that spot. I just, again, think that Houston and Jacksonville have floors that are still beyond where the Titans are. I think the Titans are a year away from competing with Houston and Jacksonville, barring the Titans really overperforming and those two teams really underachieving. But I think there's overlap with the Titans ceiling and the Colts floor this year. Yeah. I think there's a world where the Titans can get out of the basement of the AFC South if things don't go Indy's way and Daniel Jones doesn't come back looking like himself, or you get another injury to Jonathan Taylor that changes the run game that can help Daniel Jones not have as much pressure on his shoulders this year.
I'm not going to glass light or overpromise anything for the Titans. There was I think it might have been Fox Sport graphic that had the Titans in the hunt wild card team. Like, I'm not sure if that's anybody want to project them that high up. As far as, but if you get to a point as far as like where the floor is for the Titans versus everybody else in the South, if you can get to a point to where you're splitting games with Indy and the Jags, like that puts you in a different conversation as far as playoffs, hope, rebuilding for this team. Getting two from Houston, like if you could split one, which they have from time to time in recent history, split a game with Houston too.
Sure.
That I think this staff will be cooking with gas at that point.
What are your expectations for the Titans in 2026? Open for your phone calls, 615-737-1045. All the talk about the ceilings, the floors for teams of the AFC South. We feel like Houston has improved the most, but where have the Titans given you a fair expectation? What's the ceiling for the Titans coming up this year? 615-737-1045. We'll get your thoughts next. What's up? It's Will Bowling. Carpet is the #1 air filter inside your home. When's the last time you got it cleaned? And I mean cleaned the right way. Cleaned by pros who are going to make sure that the bad stuff gets filtered out of your carpet. That's where Zero Res comes in. Not only with the best service, the outstanding reviews, their Google reviews, their Facebook reviews that tell great stories about the services they provide, but also with a deal for you. Yeah, Zero Res is offering you 2 carpeted rooms plus a hallway for $119. A great offer from Zero Res, who also offers a smarter lasting clean. There are no harsh chemicals, no soap residue, faster dry times, and everything will stay cleaner longer. When you get Zero Res out there to clean those carpets, you can call them now at 615-535-9376. Get the power and science behind ZR Water, making your house feel clean, feel fresh. You can book online at ZeroResNashville.com. That's Zero Res. Spell it backwards or forwards. It's the right way to clean. And don't forget to ask about their air duct cleaning. Ramon Will rolls on, wrapping up the first half of the show. Where have the Titans gotten better as far as expectations go in the AFC South? What's the ceiling for the Titans with the moves they've made this offseason? Open for your thoughts at 615-737-1045. We start with Bam in Nashville first up.
Morning, Bam.
Morning, fam. What's the word, man?
How we doing?
Everybody all right?
Yeah,
Good?
we good, man. We good.
Man, I'm good. I'm just ready for this schedule to come out. Hopefully we get some true elite games today. My nerves are kind of bad. I'm itching. I got my Southwest app up. I got everything. I'm ready to book immediately. But where I feel like we've gotten better at, I feel like we've gotten younger. I feel like we've gotten faster. I want to see how we put it all together. I say a win for us this year is 6 wins. You know, maybe have a run. You know, to see us, an improvement for us is to see us on the in the hunt graphic. And when it comes to November, looking at that, you know what I'm saying? I think that's a win for us. If we strike gold and lightning hits and we can, possibly sweep a team in the AFC South. Not saying that's gonna happen, but I'm very optimistic on what we could be. I feel like we can be a little bit more than, definitely more than 3 wins, but I'm going to say 6 to 7 wins this year is a win for us. That's where I am.
For sure. That makes it competitive. That makes every weekend not a dud is what you're looking for, man.
My point, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Bam, what trip you looking forward to most on the road this year?
Look, I'm going to Baltimore. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to Dallas.
Wow.
Depending on what time of year it is, I think I'm going to do Detroit. I'm not going to Ohio. No, I'm not
you
doing
can do
that.
the D. They're indoors.
Well, Detroit. I'm doing Detroit. I'm not doing Cincinnati.
Oh.
I'm not doing the outdoor. No, I don't care what.
Have you done Cincinnati before?
Yes, I did, and that's why I'm not doing it again.
See, Bam, I was there as a fan for the 2020 game when the Bengals beat the Titans, and I still say, behind Ohio State fans, that's the second worst I've ever been treated as a road fan, and they were terrible. Like, they had no reason to be mean, but they were very mean.
But you know what? Who was actually cool though? When I went to Chicago, when Will Levis had that bowl game, they were cool. The people in LA were cool.
I believe
Vegas
that too.
was cool.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited. I'm definitely going back to Vegas this year.
Nice.
No doubt. Yeah.
I'm definitely trying to see what Baltimore talking about too. So
Baltimore will be fine. They're not too bad. I think I'm with you. I think Cincy and Cleveland got some of the worst ones.
But you know who I'll be ready to box with sometimes? Them Houston fans, man. I'll be ready to square.
Y'all got a different hate with them, though.
Yeah.
That's why.
I know,
Yeah.
and it's real.
Definitely.
It's very real.
Yeah.
I walk in there with my Oilers. I go in there with the throwback.
That's probably why.
You asking for it.
That's probably why.
Don't be
What's
trying.
I
No,
love
you asking for it a little bit, man.
Appreciate you as always,
man.
man.
I go in there agitating people. What's up?
I love it.
Appreciate the
Thank
call,
you, Bam.
my dog.
Thanks for the call.
All right, man.
Bam and Nashville.
He got backed up in the chat, though. Houston fans are the worst, is what somebody said. That hate is real. It's deep, though.
Jacksonville was the worst last year,
Yeah,
from what I
JV.
heard. Yeah.
JV was they've been kind of cool.
Johnny in Nashville next up. What's up, Johnny?
Morning, Johnny.
Hey, good morning, guys. Always, it's going to be another beautiful day here. Listen, I was born and raised in White House. I remember when the Oilers came here and had their games in Memphis. We used to take charter buses down there to go watch them. I've been a fan since day one, so I've been through the awesome times, the bad times, more bad times, and even worse times. But listen, I think the big difference we're going to see this year, I'm like the previous caller said, I'm thinking around 7, hopefully 8 wins. But here's the key thing that I think a lot of us are maybe not missing, but just are overlooking, is that we gave up around 475 points or something like that last year, and Robert Saleh is not going to let that happen this coming year. I think he's came in, he's saying no more of this silly crap. He's chopping the meat off the steak a little bit. We've got all these great additions to be around Simmons. We're all looking at these, we're all looking at these sexy picks of, these draft picks we got and these elite receivers we've signed and all this. But I think we're going to be loaded on defense. And under Saleh's vision, this new coaching regime, I really think it's going to make a big difference defensively. And we're not going to give up near as many points this year, which in turn will help us get a lot more wins and play solid football. As always, guys, I love both of you. And you always know I end these calls. Go Vols, baby. Have
Yes,
a good night. I love
sir.
you guys.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Johnny.
Johnny.
Appreciate
Love
the
you
call.
back, man. I say it back to you, Johnny. It's okay. Love you.
7 wins. What 2 people have said so far? You think it's about right?
I think that's about right. I think it's doable. Still playing the 4th place schedule as well. Like what you hopefully you don't run into is what last year was all the bad teams got good in the calendar year.
8th easiest strength of schedule as we sit here today, according to what ESPN put out yesterday.
I think last year was about the same.
Yeah, it was. It was. Slay of the F&M Bank chat says, are road teams expected to be nice, though, or am I tripping? Honestly, no, they're not, and it's more fun when they're not.
Savage, he's been to Cincinnati when it got violent, though.
Yeah, no, it's fun.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
It's a good time.
One time I told a Bengals fan at that game I went to that was being a jerk, I was like, hey, man, you mind sitting down for me? You live in Ohio. He didn't really get the joke. He was like, what do you mean? Of course I do. I was like, exactly. Turn around, watch the game. Thanks. McKinley is in Nashville up next. What's up, McKinley?
What's up, McKinley?
Hey, good morning. Thank y'all for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I think we're going to have about 6-7 wins this year. What I really want to see happen this year is that year or two jump with Cam Ward and really click with Wandale Robinson and Carnell Tate and have an impact this year. The thing that scares me the most is the edge rushers we got. I think it'd be a good idea to maybe bring in Bosa to help train these younger guys and see what we can get out of him.
Thank you for the call, McKinley. Appreciate it. Joey Bosa, you in on that?
I told you, I think he's a fit. I think he'd be fascinating in his defense, but Joey Bosa's in a situation, McKinley, where he going to pick and choose where he goes, and that's where you hope Gus Bradley and Robert Saleh can, get him to come to Nashville if that's the case. Or Jeff, whoever the case may be, is he stat chasing or ring chasing? Which I think the money component of it is it'll settle itself on what he decides to negotiate with. But the Titans got room to make it work as far as the cap goes, and that would most definitely add a threat to the edge as far as rotation goes for this team too. I think this defense will allow you to eat. Is the way I look at it.
I think the defense is going to be good. I think the offense will get better as the season goes. I don't expect them to start out at a good level that I think the defense is going to start at with the question marks you have at offensive line. I think ceiling is wild card. But everything's got to go your way, and you've got to win your one-score games. You've got to stay healthy. You've got to keep Cam Ward upright. He's got to play a lot better. Tony Pollard's got to be healthy. Both your top 2 receivers have got to contribute. Calvin Ridley's got to catch the football. Like, there are a lot of checks that have got to be marked off. Duck in our YouTube chat said, ceiling 10 wins, floor 6. I'd go a little lower, but I can't argue much of that, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah.
I think floor is probably closer to what you were because you've been 3 wins for 2 straight years. So until you prove otherwise, I think your floor is probably closer to 4 or 5 wins. If Cam doesn't improve, which I think he will. But I would say 9 wins as we sit here today is ceiling. And try to get in the back door of the playoffs. I'm not going to predict it by any means. Please don't hear me predicting they're going to make the playoffs. I'm saying that's the absolute ceiling.
I want to go floor and not go ceiling because streaking and momentum is real. I go 7 as the floor.
The floor? Yeah. That's pretty high floor.
If I go 6, and cool, but I feel like the adjustment to last year to this year should be better, especially if Cam shows progress.
And again, it's May. All this is going to change. Guys will get hurt. Guys will be added. There's a lot of time left till they actually start picking up footballs with pads on and helmets and really ramping this thing up. But as we sit here today, I think 6, 7, 8 wins. And you're feeling good about putting yourself into a new building and really competing in the AFC South in 2027.
You know what's crazy? I feel like it's kind of hard to throw them numbers out there. Like, even though it should be doable.
That's why I say this and take it with a grain of salt. It's May.
Yeah.
It's May. All of this is just to take the pulse and take the temperature on where we're at this point. Does not mean that this is the end-all, be-all point either.
I agree.
615-737-1045. More of your phone calls coming up. I think J.C. Treader, the NFLPA, made a mistake in a comment that is going viral right now on social media. We'll talk about it next.
If you're looking for TRT that's flexible enough for your lifestyle, man, head over to Low T Center. It's the #1 name in TRT. You can choose testosterone shots, pills, and so many other options they have for you. Also available to you. You can pay with your insurance or out of pocket. Even have your treatment shipped directly to your door. Now, Low T Center, they are offering new peptides treatments and so much more, where you can boost your libido, your energy and confidence for results that you can feel. Synergex and Low T Center provide testosterone replacement therapy and hormone replacement therapy tailored to your body, your lifestyle, and your budget. When hormones are imbalanced, patients, they feel fatigued, they feel a low drive, mood changes, and body changes as well. Balancing your hormones, that means living a better, healthier life. And here's the kicker. Testosterone is not just for men. Testosterone is important for women as well. It can help boost your energy, your confidence, and drive, and so much more. And no, it will not turn you into a man, and doses for women are very, very careful, so they can help you meet your goals. The free T-test is a simple blood test called the total replacement test. And it takes about 20 minutes to get your results back, and then you right out the door with the answers and a personalized provider-led care. Listen to me. You can book your free testosterone test now at fixmylowt.com. That's fixmylowt.com.
Ramon Foster, and I'm with Aaron from United Structure Systems. Man, they came by today to check out my house. If there's anything, any issues, small or big, you're gonna fill us in there.
We can take care of it no matter what kind of problems. So first off, we'll just kind of take a look through your house and see what kind of issues you got going. You know, cracks in the brick, cracks in the drywall, weird spots in the floor, doors sticking, windows not opening properly. Once we identify those areas, we're going to do a thorough inspection around the outside, make sure there's no issues going on with that. And then once we look over it, we'll talk about what's going on, and hopefully we ain't got no issues, and then we'll go from there.
Let's go. Let's go.
Ms. Foster, so we have looked at the issues that you brought up. We had the drywall in the attic up here above your bonus or your garage. You had some doors sticking.
I did.
Going in your bathroom. So we've inspected all that. We don't see any major structural concerns. So you're going to be one of our lucky good news customers today. There is some minor deflection there. That's not an uncommon thing. As any house is built, it's its biggest and its strongest the day that it's born. Gotcha. Right? And from that point, it just gets older, just like us. We ain't hopping up out of bed, taking off down the hallway, running upstairs anymore.
Not protecting quarterbacks anymore.
No.
Opening up late. We're done.
Your guard ain't there no more.
Okay,
so,
I got you.
So it just happens. It gets a little older and it starts to deflect. Now, there are some things we can do to kind of help adjust those doors, mainly adjusting in the door, which we don't necessarily do, and maybe doing some light shimming in the crawl space down there to address those sticking doors. But for now, no major issues there. We did talk about the grading in the back and some issues that we can take care of back there for you. But that's pretty much up in a nutshell. No big issues and you're good to go. So.
Awesome. So again, what you deal with United Structure Systems is it's upfront, it's honest, and now I can sleep peacefully at night, okay?
8:05. Good morning, live from the Circa Sports, the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. NBA playoffs Tuesday night. The Spurs took Game 5 in a 3-2 series lead over the Timberwolves, winning 126-97. Victor Wembanyama made up for his first career ejection Game 4, putting up 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 blocks to lead the Spurs in the win. Wembanyama became the youngest player in NBA history in the playoffs to post a stat line of 25 points, 15 rebounds, and 5 assists, joining Magic Johnson and Luka Doncic. In the NHL playoffs last night, the Sabres took down the Canadiens in Game 4, 3-2, and tied their series up at 2 games apiece. And a late-night thriller as the Golden Knights beat the Ducks 3-2, 4 minutes into overtime to take Game 5 in a 3-2 series lead. Coming up tonight, the Eastern Conference leader in the MLS, Nashville Soccer Club, is back on the pitch in Foxborough as they take on New England Revolution with kickoff set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Tune in to 104.5 The Zone with pregame starting at 6 o'clock. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Away we go to the second half of your Wednesday morning on Ramon and Will. 615-737-1045 is our number. And streaming live on 1045 The Zone TV, Facebook Live, YouTube, Twitter, or Twitch. We got international games official in 2026 in the National Football League. We'll get to the J.C. Treader stuff in just a moment. And some interesting dialogue around turf and grass and all these things. But I can tell you, Ramon Foster, that the Tennessee Titans will play all of their games in the United States of America in 2026. The Titans will not be heading overseas.
Yeah, no. I'm looking at this list as far as new head coaches. I don't think that, Atlanta.
Here you go. Full list of international games and when they will happen. Week 1, San Fran, L.A. in Australia. Mm-hmm. We knew that one. In Rio, the Ravens will play the Cowboys in the Maracanã on September 27th, Week 3. London, Weeks 4 through 6, at the smallest club in London and in England and in the world, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, future home of the championship. All right, I'm done. Colts, Commanders on October 4th at Tottenham. Eagles, Jags at Tottenham October 11th. Texans, Jags at Wembley Stadium October 18th. Mm-hmm. Here's a positive. Titans are the only team in the division that will not play in London in 2026. So you get a travel boost over Jacksonville, who'll be there for 2 weeks, and then Indy's got to go there as well. Paris, Week 7. Saints, Steelers.
Hold up real quick. Let's go back real quick. They're playing a conference game in Wembley?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I figured it'd just be out of conference situations like that. Yeah.
You mean division?
Divisions. I mean,
They're playing a division game in Melbourne. 49ers and Rams.
Logistically, that's why I feel like that had to be the case for them. It was either Arizona, Seattle, or one of those teams right there.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be a West team.
Yeah, it's a West team.
For sure. But you could have an AFC West versus NFC West.
But the AFC South versus AFC South in
could have done Chargers
in another country is pretty wild to me.
They don't play each other.
Well, I guess, they don't play each other. I just wouldn't have thought the NFL would have put a conference game, division game overseas.
They want to normalize this stuff.
That's the first step. And maybe I hadn't paid attention to it beforehand, but it's usually two teams that don't usually play each other in these situations.
In Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu Stadium, home of Real Madrid, November 8th, Bengals-Falcons. Oh, we got to care more about Madrid than exporting Bengals-Falcons to them. We really don't want Spanish people to like this sport. In Munich, in Germany, Patriots-Lions.
That's a good one.
And in Mexico City, Week 11 at the formerly Estadio Azteca, now Estadio Banorte, where Nashville SC became the first ever MLS team to win a couple weeks ago. Vikings, 49ers. 49ers will play in 3 countries in 2026.
That's
Australia, the United States, and Mexico.
That's so unfair for the Minnesota Vikings going to Mexico City. Like, I was down there this past November, and that is a hub for San Francisco 49ers fans. Like,
Oh, yeah. That's a home game for them.
Steelers has a big following down there. San Francisco may have a bigger following. Like, they might go into hostile territory as the Vikings head down to Mexico City. I say that in a joking way, but they have a huge following in Mexico City. That's a great matchup right there. I think if more people went to that, they'd see. I had a great time down there as far as the NFL business goes. It was pretty cool.
That is a place I have never been, Mexico.
Great. Well, I know the perception of it and stuff like that, but it was an awesome time down there when you're on NFL business.
Let's go back to the phone. We'll get to the NFL PA stuff coming up in a moment. Going to talk some Vols as well here in hour 3 before Rhett joins us at 9. Lil Scott wants to make a comment about the Titans, maybe a little prediction. What's up, Lil Scott?
What's up, man?
Good morning. Ramon Foster, I want to give you your roses while I got you on the phone, man.
Okay.
I'm a big QT fan, man. I watch you, man, running that ball, running that rock hard, man. And, man, I just think they need to get back to the fullback position. That fullback position, man, it can take up a lot of coverage, man, of protecting the quarterback, open up the holes for the running back. And, man, the Tom Rafflins back in the day, man, and the fullback for the San Diego with for LaDainian Thomas, and man, you know, the fullback position, man. I just think that they need to just get back to the basic, man, hard-nosed football, man, and let Cam Ward just figure it out like Warren Moon did and Steve McNair, man. I think we're going to be all right, man. Y'all take care, fellas.
Thank you, Lil Scott.
Cool. Appreciate
the call.
Appreciate that.
Ramon is standing up.
I stood up for that
and
one,
doing
Scott.
Heisman poses and stiff arms.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I don't know, but should I have kept him on the line to tell him you weren't a running back?
Nope. Me and Arian both.
I think he's got you confused with Arian
Two
Foster.
light-skinned black dudes. I'm here for it. Last name the same, Foster. That's my brother. I'm going to hit up Arian and tell Arian, hey, I'm you now. Little Scott, nah, I appreciate that. About time I started getting some skill respect out here, man. Heck yeah.
For those who don't know, Ramon was an offensive lineman. He played tackle for the Vols and a little bit of guard, and then he played guard for 11 years in the NFL for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Well, it's savage. My brother said, he probably talking about our pops, man. Big run at TSU. Like, our dad was a running back. I got running back in my blood is what I'm telling you.
I love the way Slay, I love the way Ron will just back up anything about you. He goes, that's too real. My dog ran that rock.
I'm out right now.
I could congratulate Ramon on winning this season of American Idol. And Ron Slay would be in the Evan and Mick chat being like, oh, I know he's got them pipes. He's got golden pipes, man. Oh, Ryan Seacrest gave you that award last night. Absolutely you did.
Savage, go back up.
Slay in the chat says, no, you're lying, Will. The caller was right. You know what? That's on me. That's on me.
Yeah. Stand up when you talking about it, Savage. I'm here for it, man. Absolutely.
What else can we make up that Ramon did? I loved you in Friday Night Lights. I thought you were great in that movie.
Appreciate that, man. You know, I also starred in The Blind Side, too. Like,
did you?
That story was about me. Sorry, Mike. Oh, you my brother and I love you, but no, that was about me. Heck yeah. What else did I do, man? Oh,
You've got some elite Survivor skills. I saw you on, season 51 of Survivor.
You see what I'm saying? I'm into that as well.
That's awesome.
Man, listen, I try to hide.
You and Sam Phelan.
You know what I'm saying? I try to hide my stuff. Yeah, Barry Foster also was a former NFL running back as well. Like, I'm out here, is what I'm telling you.
Let's go to Paul in Franklin up next. Good morning, Paul.
Better come with it, Paul.
Hey, good morning. It's great to be alive and be in Tennessee.
Yes,
man, that's pretty funny. Pretty funny, my last caller, man. He will be confused on you, but I'm with him anyway. Hey,
Me too.
let's get down to the nuts and bolts of it. The Titans, baby. I'm an optimistic man. The last third of the season last year, the last handful of games we had started making progress. We were playing better, and we was in games more, and we was getting our feet under us. So I believe we took that into the offseason, and I like the acquisitions that we made in the draft. I do. So I think that the Titans are going to be going into the last one or two games of this upcoming season be like Will said, we may backdoor into the playoffs. I believe we're going to be able to talk about it. I do. Hey, I'm optimistic, man. Oh, and getting to other fan bases, I worked with a guy, he's retired now. Years ago, he was an Oakland Raider fan. To me, the Raiders will always be in Oakland, baby. That's always they be. And he told me that the visiting fans there, Will, that they would have a group of guys that would follow them into the bathroom. He told me this, and ask you to take your visiting jersey off.
Oh wow!
And just wear a white T-shirt or whatever. And if you didn't take it off, they would take it off for you back in the 70s and 80s. You know what I mean? They rough you up in there. He told me they did that back in the Oakland Raider days, and I believe it.
I believe it.
But anyway, hey, that's my comment. God bless y'all. Go Vols and tighten up, baby.
There we go.
Thank you, Paul. Appreciate the
comment. My man, Paul.
What was it like playing in the black hole?
It was exactly as you think it is.
Okay. Sounds good.
It was dark, even in the daylight.
I mean, you did throw for 3 touchdowns at a game in the black hole once.
Did you not know about that? Did you not see me with the immaculate reception in there, too? My version of it?
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was my version of it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah. It was exactly what you thought it was in old Oakland, man. The Coliseum, if I'm not mistaken, was the name of their stadium. It was dark. Their fan bases were very much dressed up, dolled up, or whatever you want to call them. Shoulder pads, spikes on, black paint everywhere. It was a real skunky smell in the air as well, too. Fascinating approach to doing game days with skunks around.
Coming up, 615-737-1045. You want to talk about this NFLPA stuff? You want to push that to 8:45 and talk Vols next?
I do want to talk this one because I want to know, one, what was some of the worst conditions you've ever played in or been in as well? Like, do you deal with this in, like, track and field or basketball? I told you a place that I played at was one of the weirdest places ever for a basketball game.
Okay.
I'll wait till after the break to tell you the worst surface I've ever played on before.
There is a battle brewing between the NFLPA and the National Football League, but I think the PA has already made a big mistake in that battle. We'll talk about that coming up next. Buying and selling your home is as stressful as it gets. I may have just said that, and your heart rate levels went up a little bit. You're thinking about that one house in your neighborhood. When you walk by it, that for sale sign has been collecting dust. It's just been sitting there on the market. Well, when you trust Bernie Gallerani of Bernie Gallerani Real Estate, you don't have that stress. And that for sale sign is not going to gather dust because you get Bernie Gallerani's guaranteed sale program when you trust him and his team. Bernie Gallerani guarantees to sell your home in 30 days or less, or he'll buy it. Yeah, there's no risk to you. There's no catch. Bernie will let you out of the contract at any time. He is the real estate agent with the 30-day guarantee to sell your home, and if not, he'll just buy it from you. In fact, he's so confident about his ability to help sell your home and find you that dream home, he's given out his cell phone number right here on the radio, 615-428-2644. You can check out more online as well at BernieGallerani.com. Take that leap of faith buying or selling your home by calling him at 615-428-2644 or check him out online. That's Bernie Gallerani Real Estate online at BernieGallerani.com. Ramon and Will, 104.5 The Zone, Hour 3. 615-737-1045. Going to talk about the ongoing fight between the NFL and the NFLPA on turf and natural grass. And even if you don't care as much about that specific issue, it is interesting the way the NFLPA is being run right now. And J.C. Tretter, the guy in charge, making some interesting comments on a show with one of your former teammates, Cam Hayward.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
That surfaced yesterday. But before we get to that, let's go to the phone. Darius is out east. Wants to talk about the NFL schedule. What's up, Darius?
What up, Darius?
What's up? Good morning. How y'all doing today, fellas?
We're good, man.
How are
Good
you?
morning.
All right, doing good. Hey, I had a question a little bit for Ramon because I know you used to be a rep for the PA. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Hey, brother, I just wanted to ask you. So I know for me and just in my opinion, I'm not really feeling like the divisional games being overseas. I think that is kind of like taking away a home game from a team. So I was thinking, does the NFLPA and the NFL, could they maybe compromise on still having overseas games, but maybe not having divisional games overseas? Is that something that the NFLPA and the NFL can probably agree something upon that? But I'll hang up and listen. I appreciate y'all for the info and all of the answers. Y'all do a great job this morning.
I appreciate that, Darius.
Appreciate the call.
To answer your question, the schedule is the way it's set up is generated through availability of the stadiums, availability of just the stadiums for the most part, though, too. Trying to set up schedule as best as you possibly can, although that's not usually the case. They go through numerous amounts of simulators to find the perfect schedule, which is why I think the NFLPA as well decided to put themselves in a position where they make this an event. Concerts matter. Other sporting events like the World Cup might matter in situations like this. And Olympics, if that's ever been a thing, though, too.
It's going to be in a couple of years.
And just the overall calendar, the holiday schedule plays into it now as well. I will say this, us recognizing that Houston and the Colts or Houston and the Jags are going to be playing overseas, it piqued my interest too, Darius. I usually don't see that be the case. When I played over there, it was us versus Minnesota. It's always been out of conference or out of division team. I do know this, teams in general, the way I've kind of heard it explained, they don't like necessarily going overseas in general. The home team loses that money. When we went over, I think it was Minnesota was the home team. So they technically lost a game, but as a fan, you're still paying for that season ticket as well. I don't think they want to make this a norm. Darius, to your point, as far as it being divisional games being played over there, I do look at who they're playing. Jacksonville is essentially playing another home game. In this particular situation, Darius, the two divisional teams that will be playing each other, Rams and 49ers. That's the West Coast team, two West Coast teams going to Melbourne, Australia, which they got to go left to get over there anyway, so it was going to be a West Coast team regardless. That one I understand because of logistics. When you look at Jacksonville, they're renovating their stadium. As many times they cannot be inside of their stadium, they will, and it just so happens that Houston's got to compromise by going over there to see them. So
they'll be in the Citrus Bowl in 27.
Yeah,
they'll be in Orlando, which is one of the worst stadiums where football is played in this country.
Yeah, no doubt. They got to figure it out.
Awful.
Getting around that stadium is it's beautiful because it's Florida and they've renovated a good bit of it, but yeah, they got to tie that stadium together.
Because nobody plays home games there. It's just kind of a stadium that sits there. And going there for the Citrus Bowl, the Nico Imaliava breakout game a couple of years ago, that stadium makes pre-renovated Vanderbilt Stadium look nice.
Right.
Yeah,
that stadium had its issues
Not
too.
a nice place.
But to your point, though, Darius, they tried to satisfy the fans. Jacksonville just got a unique situation for the next 2 years.
Yeah, they do.
On that one.
So NFL players prefer playing on grass over turf. This is not breaking news. J.C. Tretter is the new NFLPA executive director on the Not Just Football podcast, hosted by Steelers defensive lineman and your old teammate Cam Hayward. J.C. Tretter had this to say about the need for grass over turf.
And what we want is good grass fields. We want good, solid fields. You don't just want pull out the Muni golf course grass out on every field. You want high quality surfaces. I think one thing is understanding what our players care about. And there is something there that the data hasn't been able to spit back out of us, which if you ask every player, we polled 1,700 players, 92% say they want grass over turf.
Yes.
There is something about the feeling of being on grass that your body feels different. I think if you ask the coaches, just standing on grass for standing on turf for 3 hours feels different. There is something there that impacts the body.
That's his first answer that's being circulated. This was another part from J.C. Tretter in the same podcast.
So I think it's important for us to have metrics to enforce them, making sure the stadiums are being used predominantly for football games, right? Especially when, having concerts and monster truck rallies. Those are all things that the owners make money off. The players don't make money off it. So the idea of, hey, we're going to host these events, that means we have to put a worse surface on there for you, and you don't actually get any of that money for those events we're hosting, isn't a great thing for players either. And that's what we got to evaluate in the next deal.
NFLPA Executive Director J.C. Tretter. Ramon, what do you think?
I'm pro-union before I go any further. Like, I love how they stand up and fight for the players and safety and health of the game and curating it, especially as much as we need to, because JC's right. We are the commodity that feeds the beast, that throws money and coal, or throw coal into the fire to keep it burning. Nowhere in it will ownership ever split money on a Beyonce, Chris Stapleton concert at their stadium. It belongs either to the city or to the owners. We can't get none of that money. That's just business. I can't expect somebody to come over here and say, hey, just because you in my neighborhood having a yard sale, then I need some of your money as well. Like, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? That's probably a bad correlation, but it just don't work like that. I do agree with JC that, hey, a unified ability to have grass across all 32 NFL stadiums, 31 because they share one in New York. I roll with you there. The issue is where the PA is at, and the PA's got a lot of things they're trying to fix and get in order right now with leadership, with the lawyers, with the history of knowing how to combat and go back and forth with the NFL as well. That's where the PA's got to strengthen itself. The PR that they've had as of late, the decisions that have been publicly made, the embarrassment that the NFLPA has had as well, it's not going to put them in a position of strength. You asked, and you had an issue with one of the things that he said as far as the information on what's good or bad. Right. What did he say again?
He basically said, we're looking for metrics to back this up that we don't have yet, but we know that guys prefer to play on grass. We've got to find metrics that support us. What?
We got to find
What?
them.
What do you mean? You are literally giving the owners the answer.
Yeah.
In this, they're just going to come back to you and say, well, if you don't have numbers to back up your point, why should we spend all of this money to put grass back in all of these stadiums? Like, you can't back up your point. And you know that the owners and the business people that are within all of this and team presidents, they do have numbers.
And it's 32.
And a couple years ago when the Titans moved to turf, we were shown the numbers of like, hey, what we're going to is going to decrease injuries versus the natural grass surface that we had based on the part of the country that we are in here in Nashville and how hard it is to keep grass at a good enough level and then also make money again with situations like the Music City Bowl and Post Malone, who's coming to
Monster
Nashville
Jam
this summer. And again, Monster Jam that
Usher
he all
and
mentioned.
Chris
Like,
Brown.
if somebody came in here and did a different like radio show in this building, we don't have any access to that money.
No.
It's kind of the same thing. Like, why should you and I make money if someone else came in this building and used this facility? That has nothing to do with us.
No.
Post Malone selling out or not selling out Nissan Stadium has nothing to do with the players that play there on Sundays.
No.
It's a facility that, again, like, I mean, if you want to be a 1% owner of a team, you can wait and do that after you're playing.
Yeah.
Then you can make some of that money back. But, like, that's not on you. You didn't build the stadium.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think where J.C. Tretter messes up here is by giving the rebuttal in the answer, saying, we don't really have the numbers to back up why, but we just know that players prefer grass.
And they're going to pull this the same way they pulled JC in another situation.
Of course.
Speaking on contracts and situations like that too. They threw him in a glitch with the last situation that the PA had early this year with the exposure that they had.
And the collusion stuff. J.C. Tretter being I'll say this, point blank, just as simply as I could put it. J.C. Tretter being the president of the NFLPA is a very good thing for the 32 NFL owners and for Roger Goodell. He is not the guy in charge to get players what they want. And in an era where we are moving closer to 20 games than we are the 17 that we already have, expect the NFL to win a lot more of these battles than they're going to lose with this guy in charge. I don't understand how they got to the process of putting him in charge. I don't understand the representation of players feeling like they're represented by someone who, with a couple of handshake deals, was kind of given a job and a position was created for him, and then he screwed up and said some things and had text messages exposed that then gave the NFL kind of it bordering on blackmail. Like the NFL had him dead to rights on, hey, we've got you texting bad things about quarterbacks and guaranteed money and ruining it for everyone else. So you're not going to tell on us and we're not going to tell on you, and we're going to shake hands and we're going to get what we want because we messed up and we caught you. Like, that's essentially the gist of what happened, as shortly as I can put it on J.C. Tretter. The fact that this guy is in charge is bad news for the players. It's great news for owners.
It's fascinating just hearing them openly speak about this as far as the media push to get an understanding of turf. And I do agree, if you had players play on grass, it probably leads to a better feel, because the NFL does, to your point, they have requirements. It's down to traction, firmness, shock absorption, consistency, draining, and just other safety measures, like if grass is being pulled up in chunks and stuff like that. Teams go through extreme measures to try to make it work. I know Pittsburgh, you'll like this, they went and grabbed dirt from New Jersey. Because the Pennsylvania turf in Western Pennsylvania, it wasn't sticky. It didn't hold well enough. So they literally brought in truckloads, dumpsters of New Jersey dirt to try to make it work as well. Pittsburgh and other places retread the turf throughout the year and season and stuff like that. So the attempts are there. The money is being spent as well. The issue that they have is this. That's a collectively bargain option. What is the one carrot dangling right now that the owners are just lightly speaking about over and over again?
18 games.
18 games.
And I think we're going to see 20 in our lifetimes.
And you know where that will be negotiated and given? We'll give you grass. You give us 18 games. It might go from 18 to 19, to your point, because 18 is, I don't want to speak too bluntly, but I feel 18 is going to happen sooner.
Oh, yeah. There's no question.
Than later.
There's no question.
And the next one is, well, let's do 19 and 1. We'll give you grass if you do 19 and 1. Because listening and hearing about what FIFA does, FIFA negotiated it earlier.
Correct.
Our players must do what, Will, with turf? They must play on natural grass.
Yep. FIFA only uses grass fields for the World Cup. So MetLife Stadium, AT&T Field, Dallas Cowboys Stadium, Gillette Stadium, Lumen Field in Seattle, NRG Stadium in Houston, SoFi Stadium in LA, and Mercedes-Benz Stadium all use artificial turf for NFL games. All of them will have natural grass for matches this summer. That's part of J.C. Tretter's point, saying you look at FIFA, they're rolling out the green carpet for soccer players, and that has become the norm. In European leagues, this is what you do. You play on grass. They have surface standards that each thing is rolled out. It's exactly how it's supposed to be, and those players will not play if it's not that.
Mm-hmm. We're not unified to make those types of plays. That's what I mean by that. The
union isn't unified.
The players are so separated as far as, man, I'm paid. I'm cool. I'm in the last 5 years of myself. I got 2 more years, man. This don't affect me. Or I'm good by Wednesday. If I do, I do agree with him. Like, it's achy coming off of turf. I never forget playing in the coach. Like, that next Monday, I was like, God, why my ankles? Oh, we played on turf. Like, you feel it. But this is also what we've agreed upon from a CBA perspective. It's like, as long as we're not out there playing on AstroTurf and there's not clumps of grass that's being kicked up and moved around, or when we played in the Hall of Fame game, one of my former teammates, Sean Swisham, I think sued for monies lost because that turf was very unacceptable. It was caked up paint. It was hard as a rock. Nobody had brushed or treated it or anything else. Like, the perimeters in place to make it serviceable are there. They sweep it. If you've ever been in Titan Stadium after, they're immediately sweeping it, fluffing it back up, sanitizing it, and everything that have met the requirements of the CBA. So again, ask yourself, if you're in J.C. Shredder's position, how do you make the owners go to all turf? All grass. It's a negotiation. And again, the question is going to be, what are you giving up to get that? Because in any negotiating situation, you're not doing it for free. No. If I ask you for 100 and never give it back to you, then I just took it. They're not in to take.
Right. Albert Breer of SA.com wrote about this morning on his Twitter, said the turf thing is easy to explain. Cost of stadiums exploded. NRG in 2002 opened at a cost of $352 million. In 2008, Lucas Oil was $732 million. 2 years later, MetLife Stadium in 2010, $1.6 billion. So Albert Breer says to justify stadium costs, owners increasingly jammed more events in them. Grass is difficult to maintain if you're putting 1 million events at the stadiums. Turf is cheaper and easier. More teams do it, it becomes normalized, so then others, he says, like the Panthers and Titans, take advantage of that to save money. And here we are. Reality is, even if you set the safety issue aside, players hate the way they feel coming off playing on it. There's a reason why 32 out of 32 teams practice on grass, even when they're preparing to play for a game on turf. It'll be interesting to see where this goes from here. It's hard to put that toothpaste back in the tube.
Especially when you can put Monster Jam in there and make you $250,000 on a weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And I know they're billionaires, but $250,000 or $500,000 for a concert or an event is still money in.
My other thing, too, on this, by the way, on the soccer thing, don't compare it to soccer. Because the ball rolls on grass the whole game.
Yeah.
Like, the standards of grass needing to be the same is because of how the ball is going to bounce and roll. Because the ball is on the ground more. So aside from a football landing for a fumble or for a punt or a kick, like that's part of the reason I would say why grass has got to be standard across the sports is understanding how it's going to roll and bounce. And when a goaltender is standing in the box, like, and the ball drops from a certain height, like how high is it going to bounce? Like that's part of it when it comes to the soccer side of things. And like, you're dealing with more, and again, people are not going to have sympathy for injuries with soccer players, but like, you are dealing with more like skin on grass, like sliding down and stuff like that. I know you slide and you're tackled down in football as well, but you got a little bit less to protect you in soccer as well. I just think it's apples and oranges comparing the two sports.
It is, and also they negotiated for this to be the case worldwide.
It's a moneymaker
too.
It's a big moneymaker. Lord have mercy.
But here's, what's even crazier though to hear about it? All of the high schools in Middle Tennessee, for the most part, are playing on turf too now. And I know they're younger athletes, lighter and stuff like that, but
they are.
Everybody.
Well, in high schools, I at least understand it because a good turf field, I think is still better than a bad grass field.
Yes.
And there are schools out there, it's easier to get a booster or a county or somebody to pay a one-time payment to get me a good, solid turf field, more so than for me in a tough climate to maintain a natural grass field that if I don't have the money or resources, or if I'm as the coach going out and cutting my own grass before practice, and that takes away from my time of game planning, all that stuff. Like I get it for schools that don't have the resources to have general upkeep of a good grass field. And honestly, I said this when the Titans got turf, and I still stand by it. Every December, that thing in Nissan Stadium did not look good.
No.
And there's only so much you can do with the weather and the amount of rain that we get in this part of the country in the winter when it gets cold and rainy. And you could put the best turf people in the world, and I think they've got pretty good ones at the team, who there's just only so much you can really do with the climate in this part of the country. The challenges in Nashville are going to be different from the challenges in Phoenix, which are going to be different from the challenges in New England to Seattle to Denver to Florida. Like, I do think for parts of the country, turf is the better option, and I do think this is one of them. I genuinely do. I'm not just saying that. Like, around the time of the Music City Bowl, when there's all that stuff going on and you've got to flip that field over. Remember that Titans-Dolphins game after the Vols-Purdue Music City Bowl? Field looked awful.
Swamp.
It was not good. There's only so much you can do. I think it's a futile effort from the players. I get it. I understand their point they're making, but I didn't think they made it the right way, and I think they're fighting a losing battle.
Or you're going to have to give up something you never thought you would.
615-737-1045. Back to your phones coming up. We'll get to Andy up next. And I am curious, what's the worst surface you played on?
Ooh.
From high school to college to the NFL. We'll talk about it next.
It's Ramon Foster for Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical. Man, nobody likes dealing with those issues at all, whether it's plumbing, HVAC, or electrical, especially if it's an emergency. Most of the time, you don't know what it will cost you if it'll get fixed right, or if somebody's trying to sell you something you don't need. When you call Hiller, the experts are going to solve your problems quickly and as best as they possibly can. And the price that you're told is the price that you will actually pay. They have zero hidden fees or surprises on your bill at all when they finish the job. Hiller's been in business for over 35 years and a family-owned and operated. Their techs are very professional, experienced, and trustworthy. And they're all background and drug screened as well. When they're on their way, you receive a photo of the tech and a link to track them in real time so you can track where they are in case you got to run an errand or two. But you're not sitting around wasting time for somebody to show up to your house to fix something that has already bothered and irked you all day anyway. The motto is, happy you'll be or the service is free. Listen, to learn with Hiller and book with them like I do, you can simply head over to happyhiller.com.
Hour number 3 of Ramon and Will continues here on 104.5 The Zone. Get back to your calls in just a moment. Subscribe to Ramon and Will wherever you download podcasts at 10 o'clock every morning. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, 1045thezone.com, and, of course, the 1045 The Zone YouTube channel. Would love for you to hit the subscribe button while you are there. And it helps us. Costs nothing to you, and we're not going to show up at your door unless you pay us extra. Maybe then we'll sometimes do that. Justin, for soccer, before we get to calls and the worst places Ramon played, did you have a preference for turf over grass? Did you care?
Oh, real grass all day, every day. Turf hurt my feet. I remember the worst was travel ball when I played. I think it was in Alabama, and it was a very hot day in June, and my feet were just absolutely burning because of the turf. Plus the pellets, anytime you did a slide tackle or anything like that, you just get all scraped up.
Yeah, right.
Grass was always better for soccer.
Yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. They definitely, like, the European players that have come here, just like being around Major League Soccer, that is a big adjustment for them because, like, turf is not really a thing overseas to the point of the NFLPA and stuff.
Yeah, I just find it hard to believe that for these teams that are hosting, or these stadiums that are hosting a World Cup game, why would you want to go back? Because you have some of the top athletes in the world in soccer and FIFA.
So are NFL players. Some of the best athletes in the world.
Well, I mean, obviously, we just heard the argument of why 92% of the players apparently want this real grass.
Right.
I just find it hard to believe when you switch, why would you switch back? You spend all this money and time and effort to switch. Why go back?
It would still be cheaper.
It would still be cheaper to go back.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, other than, like, having to reside and change and, yeah, right. Because you're still going to have concerts. You're still going to have monster truck stuff. You're still going to do other things.
Yeah.
Interested to see what Ramon has learned here.
Just got an anonymous call from Turf Expert is all I'll just call him right now in this situation. So
all right,
the conversation of turf versus dirt is building up the infield and is making it consistent as far as the way they build it up from sand to the dirt to the pellets all the way through. I think you end up finding a more consistent turf surface as opposed to going to and grabbing the dirt from New Jersey. It's all about the consistency is what you're looking for in those moments. How does it bounce? How do you build it up? Is one material harder or better for you? Which is why I think we had the conversation a couple of years ago when the Titans moved to their cork side of turf instead of the black pellets. Right. Maybe the response on your foot to ankle to knees is better with how they build up turf as opposed to the conversation of grass. You're trying to get the field as close as you possibly can and consistent as you possibly can to what dirt feels like for the guys. The pushback on the concrete side of it, I guess, is where it's at. So building that up is more important than what the grass or if it's artificial or not, as opposed to saying, hey, we just want grass. Because to the point that you made, like, it's probably different in Carolina. Carolina, I thought, had a hard turf. I thought they had a speedy field with how it may have been Bermuda that they were using over there, which Bermuda, if you know it, it grows tight to the ground and it's harder. As opposed to playing in Tennessee or Western PA or even Seattle if they had grass, which, again, there's a conversation of a wet region of America that has to make sure that the sand, the pellets, the base of what you're playing on is suited for NFL play. And that's where, to your point, I think they're losing the argument about how do you make it safer for players. If technology and science back up how this feels, the response to it, and also to the consistency of it. I've seen guys hit divots on grass and tear ankles and knees up as well. Turf, you don't necessarily have to deal with that. Again, if you're looking at the overall technology of how you're building up. I think the progressive way in which the Titans, I point to the seat that Burke Nihill sit in, speaking about this turf, if you look at that portion of it is where I think the players might end up having a harder position of making a case for the change.
Right. Yeah, my point on consistency was more for a soccer thing of, like, on certain turfs, the ball's going to bounce 5 yards and 10 yards and 7 yards and just the way different fields bounce differently. So, but yeah, no, less cushion. All that makes sense. Andy in Clarksville. What's up, Andy?
Hey, so, talking about bad places that you played, when I was in high school, we played at a school whose gym was so tiny that the center line actually moved depending on which end of the floor you were on for backcourt violations. And for threes, the ceiling was so low you couldn't arc it, which was fine for me. I was not a three-point shooter. My spirit animal for the way I played was Bill Laimbeer and the Detroit Pistons of the late 80s and early 90s. So that was a perfectly fine game for me.
No doubt about it.
I like it. Thank
Speaking
you.
of basketball, worst
Appreciate
turf I ever played on was carpet at Halls Middle School in West Tennessee. We played a basketball
game on turf?
numerous times on carpet.
Oh.
Yeah, no.
That's horrible.
Don't trip and fall. Don't take a screen.
That is not good.
They were a 1A, very small school in Halls, Tennessee. It's a small city in Lauderdale County.
I never had that many. I mean, again, like my sport is unique.
And you outside regardless.
Yeah. I know, I mean, as far as tracks go, a lot of tracks in Florida are asphalt. So that's a little different. I remember having a meet at Innsworth. It was a middle school meet at Innsworth, back in that park behind Innsworth.
I know what you're talking about.
And it had rained a ton. And it was just, I was just caked in mud. But that's not their fault. It rained a lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of the sport.
But you don't have to worry about that with the drainage for turf, though. And my pro for it, like,
this is a lot more grass talk than I expected us to have today.
The right type of grass talk, too.
I think the larger discussion is less about the turf stuff for me and more about this is the guy representing the PA and fighting battles for the players. And he's out here trying to make arguments. And then in the middle of his argument saying, we don't really have the data to back it up. So we're looking for that. But that's the point I'm trying to make here, that this is the guy representing the players in an era where you've got a collective bargaining fight that is brewing. And you've got the owners wanting an 18th game that I think they're going to get sooner rather than later.
Yeah. That's
the reality of it.
That's the reality.
I'll say it. 615-737-1045. We will get back to your calls at the very end of the show. But when we come back, we'll talk a little bit about the Titans' schedule with Rhett Bryan. Take a look at the NFC East, another division that will be a part of the Titans' schedule in 2026. Coming up next.
It's Ramon Foster for Medical House Calls. Good people, that is the website, medicalhousecalls.com. It's healthcare designed for your life, and that's exactly what they mean. They're trying to bring back just the consistency of you taking care of your health. They're available to you 7 days a week from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Same-day appointments are available to you next day guaranteed. If you're like some folks, man, that just don't like getting out of your house or your car and going sitting in the waiting room, Medical House Calls is for you. If you've had a persistent illness that you've been dealing with and you know you want to go get it checked out, but you're afraid of what the doctor might tell you in a situation that you're not comfortable in, well, bring them to your house. For a flat fee, you can get that evaluation, full exam, and treatment plans if you need them, and prescription as well. Everything from IV therapy to medical weight loss to an urgent care situation, they will come and service you with. They're good. I've used them personally myself. And they're very convenient. That's the beauty of this situation right here that Medical House Calls provides for you. If you want a concierge life to the somebody that's taking care of you, simply head over to medicalhousecalls.com or call or text them at 615-838-2375.
This is a different court, Blair. Same result, Slay. Oh, okay, Blair. See, that's Tyler Tanner. See, Tyler Tanner's in the house now.
Let's see what you got. Jury's out, Blair.
Blair, come on. Okay, Blair, just come sit down. Come on, Blair, stop. You're going to get hurt. Blair, get off the court. That's enough.
What's the verdict, Blair?
The courtroom is where I play ball. Boy, Durham, injury law. And that ain't got no roof.
9:04, good morning, live from the Circus Sports, the Mid-Kentucky Downs studio. I'm Justin Hawkins. The full slate of the 2026 International 9-game schedule is now set across 4 continents, 7 countries, and 8 stadiums. The NFL announced this morning. Week 1, Rams taking on the Niners in Australia. Week 3, Cowboys versus Eagles in Brazil. Week 4, Colts versus Commanders in London. Week 5, Eagles versus Jaguars, also in London. Week 6 is in London as well. Texans taking on the Jaguars. Week 7, Steelers versus the Saints in France. Week 9, Bengals versus Falcons in Spain. Week 10, Patriots, Lions in Germany. And Week 11, Vikings versus 49ers in Mexico City for Sunday Night Football. NBA playoffs Tuesday night. The Spurs took Game 5 in a 3-2 series lead over the Timberwolves with a 126-97 win. Victor Wembanyama made up for his Game 4 ejection, putting up 27 points, 17 rebounds, 5 assists, and 3 blocks to lead the Spurs in the win. NHL playoffs last night. The Sabres beat the Canadiens in Game 4 3-2, tying their series up at 2-2. And a late-night thrillers, the Golden Knights beating the Ducks 3-2 in overtime. Take Game 5 in a 3-2 series lead. Tonight, Nashville Soccer Club takes the pitch in Foxborough as they face New England Revolution. Kickoff set for 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Coverage is on 104.5 The Zone with pregame starting at 6. For all your foundation repair and waterproofing needs, you got to go to USSTN.com. Breaking news at once on your home for the Titans and Vols. This is 104.5 The Zone.
Fourth and final hour of the show, the fourth quarter of your Wednesday morning. The fourth quarter of the show that plays its best ball in the second half. Ramon Foster, Justin Hawkins, Will Bowling, Rhett Bryan in studio, wrapping up your final 60 minutes of your morning. The NFL schedule comes out this week. We'll talk about that for the Titans as we welcome in Rhett Bryan, who is going to also walk us through some NFC East storylines as we go division by division.
That the Titans will see in 2026.
That's exactly right. What's going on? Good morning.
Good morning. I was just seeing they released a full international schedule.
Yes. See?
Titans are not on that. I'm sorry?
I was just thinking of as many ways as I could say yes in other languages.
Yes, Abendanza. They're not playing one in Italy, though.
Yeah, that's true.
But looking at this, and think about this. All right, so the Titans went west 4 times last year and traveled more than they had in quite some time, over 18,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
The 49ers are traveling 38,000 air miles. Jeez. Of course, they're going to Australia for one, but it's like
17,000 miles.
You know what I like about this, though? The Texans are traveling 28,000 miles. Can we have them travel 128,000 miles? Sorry, I can't help that part.
Texans are our third most. You mentioned 49ers first, Rams second because they're the other team in Melbourne.
Right.
34,847. Titans ranking 18th in miles traveled this year at 18,157. That's not bad. It's not bad at all.
No. And listen, you take away Vegas from that, and it's in the bottom third of long-distance stuff.
Right.
Obviously, the furthest west you go this year is to Vegas, back to Vegas, and then going to Houston like you do normally.
Carolina, the team traveling the least this year with only 8,740 miles traveled.
You happen to know what's their furthest trip? Carolina, Tampa?
That's a good question.
Tampa, probably. It's Tampa.
But I mean, think about it. If you're Carolina, most of your stuff's most of the teams are on the Eastern Seaboard anyway.
They might be the closest of all the divisions.
So, for them to go play the Washington Commanders or play within their division, it's not bad at all.
Like they're in that cluster.
Their farthest trip is either Tampa or Green Bay. This year on the road, they play the Falcons, Browns, Packers, Vikings, Saints, Eagles, Steelers, and Bucks.
I mean, they've got a bunch of 1.5 to 2 hour flights is what they've got.
Yeah, they only get drinks. They don't get a snack.
You're not even going to get to know your teammates.
Can't even really start a show, to be quite honest.
They don't get the pack of peanuts.
No, I don't get that. They might get peanuts. They can't get like a cheese tray.
Did I see where Southwest Airlines is taking away snacks? Did I see that?
What? No, come on, man.
Oh, I hope not.
Don't do this.
No, and maybe it was like clickbait thing and it's not real, but I thought I saw that a few days ago.
First the Fat Boys break up and now this.
Do what now?
First the Fat Boys break up and now this. What are we doing?
They nixed peanuts.
Wait a minute. Do you know of the Fat Boys, right?
Fat Boys.
I don't.
They were
the Fat Boys.
Early hip hop rappers.
Beatbox,
okay.
baby.
And they were big fellas.
They were big boys. They really were fat
you'd
boys.
have to be.
Stick 'em. Stick 'em.
Yeah, 100%, right? A lot of sound, a lot of beatboxing they did, but they could rhyme.
A lot of beatboxing.
They could rhyme.
Well, here we go.
You've heard it.
I mean, I'm sure I've heard of the music. I just didn't know it was them.
They were popular. They had about maybe a 2-3 year run of like popularity. Then I think a couple of them passed away though too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, their biggest commercial success is when they redid Wipeout with the Beach Boys.
Ah, yeah.
All that stuff was in my high school era. So
Fat Boys.
yeah.
Interesting. Southwest is switching to wonderful pistachios, no shells in both roasted and salted and honey roasted flavors.
I feel like you're going to satify about 1/3 of your flyers.
All right, the honey roasted kind of got me, right?
Oh, no. I'm not hating on wonderful
protein.
pistachios. They're great.
Apparently, it's a allergy thing.
Peanuts? But
also, I think people are concerned about these allergies. I don't know.
What about
They're
pistachio?
tree nut allergy too. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't have to worry about any of that.
Man, listen.
And I'm glad I don't.
Southwest lost me when they started playing around with the organized seat stuff. I just.
Oh, you prefer open seating?
Yes.
Really?
Let me run to the exit row, okay?
I feel like it's more stressful.
Yeah, it is. But listen, if a 5'5" male and a 5'5" friend of theirs is sitting in exit row and it's middle seat available, I'm hopping in the middle seat.
Yeah.
No, I'm hopping in. You want to play the games of being short guy in a big seat? Come on, I'll play with you. I'm here for it. I've stretched out numerous times.
What I enjoy is that I will still go to my app if I am on an assigned seat one and figure out which seats are open, and then I'll get my seat next to that one. That's what I like about assigned seats.
That's real.
Because then I can guarantee having poor man's first class, which is having a middle seat open next to you. That's what I call poor man's first class.
I'll take that.
Anyway.
I call it
Apparently it's Delta also. Somebody tweeted at us and said, Southwest still gives more snacks and drinks than anyone.
There it is. You are now free to move about the country.
Schedule release. What is interesting to you, Red, about this Titan schedule? What are you interested to learn as we learn the Titan schedule in the next 36 hours?
I mean, I would start with the question everyone has: how many primetime games do you have? And I'd put that over under at probably 1.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you won 6 games in the last 2 seasons. No primetimes last year. The Cam Ward effect, I think, is real. I think that gets you on something. I don't know what it is. Is it Thursday? Is it a Sunday night? Is it a Monday night? Depends on, who they decide to pair up in that. Now, Fernando Mendoza versus Cam Ward might be something that, is interesting there.
Right.
I feel like Monday night is still the belle of the ball. Has Sunday night to y'all kind of creeped up a little bit into the, I guess the lead up to it more than Monday night?
It has for me just because
I think so.
It's the finishing touch on the full day slate of games, because you've gone through the noon centrals and the 305s, 325, 330s. And it's the last touch of that. And then the Monday night is obviously the bookend. I mean, Monday night is always Monday night.
No doubt.
Yeah. But the Sunday night, that's still a weekend night for you to roll into But I would agree with you there.
I think Thursday's gotten better, too. Like, I don't think there's as big of a gap anymore between feeling relegated to Thursday night. Like, I feel like you now feel promoted to Thursday night over a regular Sunday at noon game because of the investment they made in that broadcast and the fact that you're not just having Titans-Jags color rush on Thursdays anymore for like 4 straight years.
Yeah,
the mustard Dijon yellow.
Spock versus Kirk Star Trek Wars. Yeah, I don't want to do that. We did that. I don't want to do that. Look, here's the thing. For the fan, and you're coming home from work, it's like, hey, there's a game on tonight. That's wonderful for you. But man, for you guys, for players, for people involved, that's a sled now.
It's a different
It is
lift.
a slog. Because you're talking about, depending on how the calendar falls, 3 games in 10 or 11 days, depending on what it is.
That's exactly what it is, too. And you create a mind space for yourself that allows you to deal with it and say, job's got to be done. You got to
power
bring home
through.
the bacon. Yeah, and that's just what it is. The recovery afterwards where it's problematic for me for coaches that don't understand, like, okay, we can go watch film next week. Let us off Friday, Saturday, and Sunday so we can kind of recover, because that's a grind, 3 within like 10 to 12 days, whatever it is. So, yeah, I'm with you there.
And that's the only good thing out of that is, obviously, if you have one in that window and you have a winning record or have gotten some really good things out of it and won 3 out of those three opportunities, and you get the mini bye week afterwards, because that would be the benefit for. But yeah, I mean, think about it. You're just quickly rinsing and repeating in a short window of time. I just think about it on a small scale of what we do on Titans Radio. Like, it's, you're preparing. I start working ahead as much as I can.
Absolutely.
And then that way, I'm also trying to get to that mini bye week to get, to get to the finish line. Because, I mean, you're hustling.
Yeah, you are. You can't even game plan, really.
No, that's what I'm saying. There are some things I can do to prepare ahead with, live readers that we do and, entitlements and features and structure and those things. But, yeah, the game is going to dictate the storylines with the personnel. If, heaven forbid, you got a star player that got hurt early in that window right before you get ready to play Thursday, like whatever.
Yeah.
And the other part of it is Thursday is just so tough on teams when you get down the back stretch of the season when everybody's dinged up and you're just trying to make it.
Hustling.
Hustling
for a break.
I mean, the people in that building, the ones that are making a living in that deal and are really undervalued, in my opinion, is that training staff, all that, trying to get you guys back and ready to get back out there. Like, they are working.
Yes, they are.
Titans 2026 will face the following opponents, if you are unfamiliar. Of course, the division: Houston, Indy, and Jacksonville, home and on the road. Home games against the Cleveland Browns, New York Jets, Philadelphia Eagles, Pittsburgh Steelers, and Washington Commanders. On the road, Baltimore, Cincinnati, Dallas, Detroit, Las Vegas, New York Giants. So there you go. I saw a list yesterday that had it was like, the World Cup will be played at these iconic stadiums, and it had MetLife as an iconic stadium. From what I've heard, MetLife is not quite an iconic stadium.
Let me say this, fella. You didn't want to be there at the old Meadowlands.
Fair enough.
Well, I would even say I think new MetLife has a curse on its turf as well.
Yes.
Yes. It ended, allegedly, because I don't know if there's a lawsuit behind it, allegedly ended one of my former teammates' career. He tore his ACL going into it, man, and it was not good at all for him. And then another similar situation happened with ACLs on that turf, though, too. So they'll have to figure that one out. But it's been a common theme up there at MetLife.
Yeah, right.
Zach Banner was who it was. He never played again.
Wow. Titans' 8th easiest strength of schedule, according to ESPN, in 2026. We'll see how quickly that changes, though, because it was around the same neighborhood last year, and then the Titans had the hardest strength of schedule in the NFL. So that's the way those things work.
We're going to discuss that with the NFC East that they will face, that you've just outlined, and what they've added and what their needs were and maybe what their needs are now still.
We'll do that coming up as we continue with Rhett Bryan as we, throughout the offseason, preview the divisions the Titans will see in 2026. With more on the NFC East, Rhett Bryan in studio. More coming up on 104.5 The Zone. Ramon and Will on 104.5 The Zone, hour number 4 in studio. Rhett Bryant is here. Ramon Foster and Will Bowling. This is Fat Boys, I'm told.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Some of the original beatboxers, man.
It was. This was all mouth as well. Pause.
I did.
That's why I said, stick them.
You were on the right key, too, of that.
He was.
I did beatboxing in high school once.
Did?
For no one's going to be surprised in this.
You sang in an a cappella group.
I did, and I was the beatboxer for one of the songs we did. We did a cover of Thrift Shop by Macklemore, and I was the vocal percussion guy. Yeah.
Okay.
Macklemore.
True story. I wasn't that bad.
And hip-hop is hilarious to me.
NFC East will play against the Tennessee Titans in 2026. The Titans will travel to Jerry's World.
Woo!
And will travel to the great state, the Garden State of New Jersey, to take on the New York Jets. A month away from marrying into a New Jersey family, all right? They will have visits, yes. They will have visits from the Philadelphia Eagles and the Washington Commanders. Rhett, where would you like to begin in previewing these four
Lead
teams?
me and I'll follow.
Let's start with the Dallas Cowboys, who have attempted, Rhett, this offseason to put together a defense.
Yeah.
They did not have one last season. Their first 3 draft picks were all with defensive players.
Yeah, so 7-9-1, second place in the division, allowed the most passing yards per game in 2025, allowed the most points per game, more importantly, in 2025. So the emphasis was definitely on defense in this. Signed free agent Kobe Durant to a deal. Darian Kendrick, another corner in there. Let's see, what else did they have here? All right, so just looking at Tito Ogbonnia, they got him. They got Sam Williams. But they went 5 of their 7 picks were defense in the draft that just concluded a couple weeks ago. So Caleb Downs, they traded up for one spot at 11. Yeah. And so he will help run that defense from the 3rd level. And then a guy I really liked in the prospects at the edge position in Malachi Lawrence from Central Florida.
Yeah.
And they had a need there at edge, obviously, with trading away Micah Parsons and those things. And then they doubled down on that. And in round 3, pick 92, Jayshawn Barham from Michigan, another player I like. That was a good pick right there at 92. Devin Moore, the big corner from Florida, in round 4, pick 114. LT Overton, defensive lineman, Alabama, in the same round 4, pick 137. I think the interesting pick in this is the guy they took in round 4, pick 112, Drew Shelton, the tackle from Penn State.
Yeah.
Because Tyler Guyton, the starting left tackle, has had his issues. He had injury issues his rookie year, and I just wonder if Drew Shelton doesn't push him in that spot in 2026. And I'm not saying he's going to start at left tackle,
right?
Because he's a day 3 pick early on. But I just wonder if they're not trying to find another alternative to those things. And look, Tyler Guyton certainly has a chance to be what they drafted him for, but he's between having injury issues and some other things on the field. It has not been optimal for them.
It was come out of Oklahoma. It was a little bit of a project, though, too, like you expected and wanted him. He has the athleticism. I think he was on the younger end of it as well. Playing left tackle is tough in that division as well. And then the other part, though, too, Micah Parsons might have been stealing his soul each and every day in practice. Like, practice health matters. And what I mean by that is having good days of practice against your teammates. That's where you get your confidence from. And I'm sure it wasn't an easy task for him as well. Trying to grow in that position. But you're right. I can see that being the case. Dak's the highest paid, I think, quarterback still in the NFL as far as annual average salary. Right. And he needs a solid team, solid makeup of what they have. It's a matter of putting their pieces together because they have, to your point, they bought in defensively this offseason too.
$60 million a year for Dak Prescott. You're right. The only quarterback to make $60 million on average per season.
And by the way, I told you they drafted 2 edge rushers. I failed to mention they traded for Rashawn Gary.
Yes,
from Green Bay. In that, obviously, the big thing in this, first of all, one of the big things they had to do was continued to cement that running back position. And Javonte Williams came over as a free agent last year. They re-signed him to a 3-year, $24 million deal, 16 guaranteed. So there's that part of it. The big question is, George Pickens is on the tag, and there's no even thought about a long-term deal yet. And there's some finagling with cap monies there.
Right.
I feel like that could potentially be a distraction in this thing.
It will be. And didn't Jerry Jones do this last year, if I'm not mistaken, with a contract or a situation?
Oh, just Micah Parsons in that trade.
It was Michael Parsons.
Yeah. Right.
I think they want to keep George because every good team's got two really solid wide receivers, and George fits that bill. It's a matter of will they make him more higher paid than CeeDee Lamb?
It's a good question.
And George is the big downfield threat.
Yeah, right. He is.
Like CD gets the work done, reliable, dependable. But that guy's your shot play guy and go combat ball, get
off the charts. Right? Yep.
New defensive coordinator in Dallas is Christian Parker, who is the youngest coordinator in Cowboys history. He is 34 years old. Previously, the Philadelphia Eagles defensive pass game coordinator and defensive backs coach, rebuilding a Cowboys defense that was 30th in yards allowed per game in 2025. As it pertains to the Titans, this is a new-look defense you're going to have a chance to score some points on if they are anything close to what they were a season ago. Have remade the front, like you mentioned, Rhett, with Quentin Williams, Ogbani at nose tackle, Kenny Clark at the other defensive end spot, Rashawn Gary, Donovan Ezeraku, Malachi Lawrence, Jay Sean Barham. They should be better just simply because it'd be hard to be worse than they were on defense.
Okay.
A season ago.
One way to put it.
Honestly.
Like that.
Let's talk about the New York Giants with head coach
Giants.
John Harbaugh going up to Big Blue. Interesting, just the overall haul that they bring in the draft, Rhett, and they got a lot of guys that we spoke a lot about. First of all, Arvell Reese, because it seemed to be between Arvell Reese and Carnell Tate for the Titans at 4. They talked the other day about talking like prayers of this is going to work out. He's going to fall to us. And he did. Arvell Reese did. Expected to be an inside linebacker or some sort of hybrid. He's not going to be a full-time edge rusher like he would have been for a lot of teams. Francis Maui-Noa at 10. Colton Hood, the Tennessee corner in the second round. And in a big boundary X receiver we spoke a lot about in Malachi Fields, the wide receiver out of Notre Dame they picked up in the third round.
So they also take a guy like in day 3, pick 6, 192, J.C. Davis from Illinois, who has a lot of starting time as a tackle there. Jack Kelly, the linebacker from BYU, their last pick. He was the guy I told you I think was he was a BMX dirt bike champ as a kid.
Yeah, I do remember.
But I think the interesting thing is pick 186, round 6, Bobby Jamison Travis, the defensive lineman from Auburn. That was their biggest need in this thing because how did they get picks 5 and 10? Well, they had 5 from a record of 4 and 13, but they got 10 straight up in a trade with Cincy when they send off Dexter Lawrence. In the days following the draft, they signed DJ Reader, one of the better interior defensive linemen on that Lions defense, to a 2-year, $12.5 million deal worth up to $15.5 with incentives. And so that kind of helps because their run defense has been the problem for them on that side of the ball.
Yep.
And then Maui Noah, I mean, listen, that's help for your quarterback.
Yes, it is.
Going to start at right guard.
Start him at guard, yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, he's right. 1 of 5.
For sure.
And, wanted to be 1 of 5. He's going to be 1 of 5, and that's going to help Jackson Dart and all of that.
It's fascinating with them. They've turned 2 tackles and 2 guards. Francis Maui-Noa about to be one, and also John Runyon is also a former tackle turned guard for the Giants as well.
Jermaine Illuminor, their right tackle, has played some guard.
Illuminor as well. So, yeah. Have you guys looked at their staff as well? One, there's a lot of Titans familiarity with it, but this has got to be one of the biggest staffs I've ever seen on a football team.
On offense, Matt Nagy and Brian Callahan working together.
They are.
On the offensive coaching staff.
Tim Kelly is in the mix for them as well on their staff.
Denard Wilson on defense.
Denard Wilson on defense. This is going to be a good, I think, measuring stick as far as every game is, but specifically this one with the familiarity that these coaches and former head coach now have with the Titans that week.
That's right. And the Titans will have a lot of familiarity with them, with Brian Dable and Carmen Brasillo and quarterbacks coach also coming over from the Giants. That offensive line has a chance to be solid. Andrew Thomas, John Runyon, John Michael Schmitz, the young player out of Minnesota, Francis Mauigoa, Jermaine Illuminor. They add Daniel Falele from the Baltimore Ravens, Aaron Stinney, former Titan, an interior swing guy on the offensive line. The health of Cam Scattaboo, a big storyline, and how he returns from a big injury last year, and Malik Neighbors, who was out early. Malik Neighbors, Darius Slayton, Darnell Mooney, Malachi Fields, Calvin Austin from Memphis, Tennessee, Harding Academy, and
Speedster
Jalen Hyatt
is
still there as well.
It's turning into a solid paper team.
Yeah.
With what they've done this offseason. Isaiah Likely over there, I think you mentioned him too.
I did not, but yes.
Isaiah Likely signed in free agency with them as well. And defensively, they got more talent. I think they know what to do with it, which is why I think they were trying to look at Kayvon Thibodeau on the trade block as well.
Wouldn't shock me if they still did that. Yep.
Yeah. A lot of good talent that they have on that team. It's a matter of can Harbaugh do it in year one?
Sure. Moving on to the Philadelphia Eagles, who still have A.J. Brown on the roster for now. TBD.
All right, 11-6, they won the division. Their biggest needs, and we'll talk about the A.J. Brown part of this in a moment, but safety was one of their biggest needs because Reed Blankenship goes to Houston to play us twice a year.
Yep.
Another edge on that defense was also a place of emphasis and need there. So they traded for Jonathan Grenard with the Minnesota Vikings. So there's part of the edge. They got Joe Tryon-Shoryinka, who used to play for Tampa.
Yeah.
So there's another one.
Because Jalen Phillips is a Panther now.
Correct.
Yes, he is.
But they did not draft a safety till the 7th round, Cole Wisniewski from Texas Tech. So they got Marcus Epps on a 1-year deal. So Marcus Epps might be the guy at this particular moment. Now let's get to the A.J. Brown part of this, because everybody feels like that's going to be a post-June 1st trade. And with the way they went about it in free agency and the draft tells you that that's how they feel. I had forgotten that Dameon Pierce signs a 1-year deal there and the running back core part of this. But Marquise Hollywood-Brown, a 1-year deal, traded for Dontavian Wicks, the receiver from the Packers. And then they drafted Mekhi Lemon with their 20th overall pick, the Biletnikoff Award winner from Southern Cal. And then their 2nd-round pick is Eli Stowers, the tight end from Vanderbilt, who's really just a big wide receiver.
Right.
So there's that part of it. And it feels like they have tried to bolster what they can bolster to prepare for A.J. Brown's departure, if you're just looking at it on paper.
Right.
And then they re-signed Grant Calcaterra at tight end to go with Eli Stowers. Dallas Goedert signs a 1-year deal. In fact, they have 5 tight ends, Johnny Bunt and Stone Smart. There's 5 of those total. Jordan Davis got a big deal on that D-line. So, that's kind of where they are. Oh, and they signed Tariq Woolen back there in the secondary.
That's right.
On a 1-year, $12 million deal.
That's a fit.
That's a fit
for Philadelphia, personality-wise.
On the 1 year is all he got out of them. I figured Tariq would have got a little bit longer with them.
1 year, 12 is what it was. And here's the other one. Let's go offensive line, because that's where your heart is.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson's 36 years old. What do? Round 3, pick 68. Markel Bell, the monster tackle from Miami, at 6'9" and whatever he is.
Between him and Mailata, like if those aren't Philly picks in general, just Philly development guys, like you mentioned Markel, like legitimately, that's a project, and you got a feeling if he's behind them, he's going to be fine. But they also have they re-signed Fred Johnson as well,
your old friend,
development player as well.
And then finally, the Washington Commanders, after being the breakout team of 2024, took a step back in 2025. They had health issues for Jaden Daniels as they tried to bolster that with new members of the offensive line. Nick Allegretti, they signed on a 2-year deal as they bring back Andrew Wiley. Chris Paul re-signed with the Commanders as well. But this has been one of the oldest teams in the NFL the past couple of seasons as they try to get a little bit younger this offseason.
5-12, 3rd place in the division. Jaden Daniels' injury, that was one of the big reasons why that went the other way. And then going into this, they had 2 defensive ends under only under contract going into this year, and both coming off of IR, and Dorrance Armstrong and Javante Jean-Baptiste.
Oh.
So they go out and they get Caleb Von Chason on a 1-year deal, Charles Amenahu, also Adafe Owe, Dietrich Wise. So
Owe got paid, too.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
4-year Husky. So, they did their stuff there. They took Joshua Josephs to bolster that, the edge from University of Tennessee.
Vol.
And
It's a good fit.
I think the interesting thing is what they're doing at running back, because they re-signed Jeremy McNichols, former Titan, Rashad
McWeapon.
White, Jerome Ford signs a 1-year deal, but they draft Katron Allen in round 6. Nick Singleton, the current Tennessee Titans former teammate at Penn State. So that's interesting to me. One of the biggest needs they had going into this is they needed a number 2 wide receiver opposite of Scary Terry McLaurin. So what do they do at receiver? They signed De'Ami Brown. They re-signed Traylon Burks. They signed Van Jefferson, who was recently here. Also, Chiga Okonkwo is there at tight end. But at wide receiver, they did not have a second-round pick. With their third-round pick at pick 71, they took Antonio Williams, the wide receiver from Clemson, who was the potential number 2 wide receiver opposite Terry. They needed somebody to go with Terry McLaurin. But, yeah, that's an interesting group of guys there. And you're right, they are older. One of the interesting picks to me in this is their last pick at 223 and Ethan Kaliakmanis, the quarterback from Rutgers. There's word in Washington circles, David Blau, the former Purdue quarterback, is there. They like him to be the eventual backup for Jaden Daniels. Obviously, Marcus Mariota is that. He re-signed on a 1-year deal for $7 million. Could be worth up to 11. But I think that's it, because they brought him in for a top 30 visit, liked him, and draft him, on a flyer-type pick right there towards the end.
Ahead of Garrett Nussmeier, too.
Yeah,
yes, that's true.
Drafted him ahead of Garrett Nussmeier.
Yep.
Which was very surprising to Benny, including myself.
Including myself.
I know. I like Nussmeier.
And Jaden Daniels bounced back as well. Like, what is that going to look like for him? I know injuries got him last year, too.
For a quarterback that mobile, how do you protect yourself for career longevity?
This is a 3-year adjustment for him.
And let's go back to you said they signed Nick Allegretti, the center, to a 2-year deal. They drafted Matt Golban from Michigan State in round 6, pick 209. Watch that as someone that could be his backup and maybe eventual replacement down the road.
Brian in studio Wednesdays at 9 here on the show. Next week, we'll have a schedule maybe to react to a little bit.
Yes.
We'll know when and where in 2026. Appreciate you as always.
Indeed. All right, boys, have a good one. We'll talk to you down the road.
Final headlines as we get you out of here. Coming up next. Wrapping up the show on Ramon and Will. Tomorrow morning, I have no clue what we'll talk about because we haven't planned it yet. So tune in tomorrow to find out what we're going to talk about.
Tonight.
Nashville SC tonight, 6 o'clock pregame, 6:30 kickoff. Nashville and New England, first versus second in the MLS Eastern Conference. Will be a very fun one. Tune in. Pregame coverage at 6 p.m. I'm excited.
Let the good times roll.
That's right. Here's a headline from Twitter. Ole Miss Rebels host Lane Kiffin and USC Trojans at Vaught Hemingway Stadium in Oxford, Mississippi. Thanks, Elon. Appreciate that headline. Lane Kiffin and USC headed to Oxford, Mississippi. It was actually, though, very funny how the Oxford Police Department had some thoughts on Ole Miss and LSU being confirmed as a night game.
Wow.
There's a tweet saying the LSU Ole Miss game on September 19th will kick off at 6:30 on ABC. And there's a picture of nighttime and the fireworks going up. And the Oxford Police Department quote tweeted it with a gif of Daryl from The Office going, "Yay," very sarcastically.
I can't imagine the amount of stuff that will be thrown at Lane Kiffin. I've read speaking about the hate that he got from Tennessee when he came back, said that the Alabama security asked him if he wanted to wear a bulletproof vest. Brother.
What are we doing, man?
Brother.
The drama with this guy.
That's what I'm saying. So I know.
One of the most dramatic, insufferable humans in college sports, Lane Kiffin.
We might see him cry that week. You know what I'm saying? Like,
if he loses.
No, like I think leading up to it, he's going to be seeking so much sympathy. Like, he might drop a tear that week. Like, we might get a motivational speak from him. He might try to act like Kirby Smart or something, like, legitimately.
I thought you were going to say Kirby Allen Kirby.
Nah, Kirby don't care.
Dramatic.
He'll snipe you. We like that.
No, I mean, we need football. I think we've officially reached the point. As soon as coaches start doing these wide-ranging, exclusive interviews, just talking bad about each other. I mean, I'm entertained by it. We're going to talk about it on this show, but they need hobbies. They're too bored.
Way too bored.
Way too bored right now.
And again, they're feeling a lot of the pressure, too. And it's good for them.
Yeah. Lane Kiffin essentially talking about how you either stay here forever. He was like 99% of places, you either leave on your own or you get fired. Cool, Lane. That's really insightful, buddy.
Welcome
really
to adulthood.
That.
Yeah. Welcome to the workforce, good brother.
That's kind of how this works.
Well, in your case, you left everybody, Lane. Well, except for USC. USC did it right.
And within the next decade, he'll be the head coach at Alabama, too. Just watch.
That little extension they gave Kalen DeBoer.
Just watch.
He'll be all right. He'll be totally fine.
Spurs won last night, didn't they?
Great game.
You watched it. I did not.
Wemby was locked in. Do you hear me? Wemby gave them everything that they were looking for. The issue about this game, though, is Anthony Edwards has zero consistent help whatsoever with Minnesota. I think they're stuck in like sports purgatory of just being good enough but never going to get over the top.
Their whole city is that way.
And we mentioned, I think, yesterday a little bit. But when you look at Agent Zero when it came down to COVID-19, friggin' Rudy Gobert.
Somebody said, don't let him near the hantavirus.
No, seriously. When you look at his situation, like zero help from him. When you look at just everybody else, Julius Randle only had like 8 points in the first half and going into the fourth quarter barely had anything going as well. Julius Randle, just looking at the box score, minus 22 points when he's on the floor. Sir, you're contributing zero.
It's contributing minus 22.
That's what I'm saying. To the other team, clearly. And then when you look at Wemby, like, Spurs just run a real good outfit. They just do run a good outfit. And Victor Wembanyama being a part of that, Devin Vassell, Stephon Castle, and just up and down their friggin' roster is packed with guys that are buying into the system, that are pouring into the pot. And Minnesota's got absolutely none of that right now. There will be a lot of NBA moves this summer. We will talk about it in some capacity because teams that are serious about getting championships need to remove some of these goofballs, respectfully, that they are on these rosters.
Well, the Zone removes these two goofballs for the next 20 hours, as PTI says. 20-hour break. We'll talk to you 6 a.m. tomorrow morning. The Buck Rising Show is coming up next.
No doubt about it. But remember at all times, your Twitter fingers and your mic It's always hot.